Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the stream.
I'm your host, Richard,
And I'm Deep.
and today we are carrying on with our RogueTrader first-time playthrough. And
You want to give a
you'll have to
summary?
excuse. Yeah, I was just going to say you'll have to excuse us if we both sound a little bit nasally. Papa Nurgle's been a-calling, but yes, we are a noble officer.
This guy.
Yeah, this guy who's looking pretty freaking sweet, I have to say. Who was brought aboard a rogue trader's ship as one of their potential heirs, and along with another potential heir. The ship was taken over by Chaos insurgents led by the Master of Whispers.
The Spy
Spy Master. Yep, for the previous rogue trader. We were taken to the warrant chamber, where the warrant of trade is housed, and it turned out, instead to be a tiny little scroll, was this absolutely massive sheet of vellum hanging from a giant machine, interestingly. I don't know how they were going to take it, honestly. But yes, we managed to fight back the insurgency. The other heir bit the dust, however, Sag, and we became the rogue trader, since the previous rogue trader was murdered in a mysterious circumstances.
Along the way, we picked up Abelard, the seneschal of this ship.
And so far turning out to be one of my favourite characters.
Idira, who was a psychic confidant of the previous rogue trader.
Specifically unsanctioned, which makes her...
And Argenta, who is a sister of battle, who is on board for some reason. We haven't found that out yet.
And she is very cool, being a sister of battle.
So, off we go. We were on the bridge after assuming control of the vessel. Everything's gone to shit. Every officer's dead. We need a replacement navigator, a replacement engine seer prime, upgrades for the ship, fixes for the ship. Like, everybody who is now an officer was like 16th down the line.
I think only the helmsman.
Yes, the helmsman survived.
One. Yeah, I think he's the only one. So,
Greetings.
Yeah. And we were in the process of talking to the system.
So I would, before we crack on, I'd shrink me a little bit.
Where do you want to move, actually, while we're here?
Actually, maybe the top right. Yeah.
How's that?
And maybe shrink me just a little bit. Because you've got to take into account the border now, so yeah. Oh, right, yeah, because the background is... So it looks a bit... Yeah, there we go. That's better.
Yep.
Cool, let's give that a go.
Although top left is an option, we'll play with it throughout the stream.
Because I don't know I can't remember what the combat screen looks like, so we'll see where's the best, but I definitely don't want to be blocking the questions.
Yes. So, let's start with you telling me about the Adepta Sororitas.
Gladly. There are none more faithful to the God Emperor than my sisters. We fight against his enemies by the will of the Holy Ecclesiarchy. I beg your pardon, Rogue Trader. Here I am talking about what every lesser noble in the Imperium knows. So what exactly are you interested in hearing about?
Why are you all white-haired? Because you're not supposed to be.
Right.
They say the Adepta Sororitas are the fiercest in their faith among the warriors of the Imperium. Is that true?
It is. The Sisters of Battle are a fire lit by the God Emperor. They are the echo of his voice that travels through the dark expanses of the universe. We bring his wrath to heretics, mutants, and other enemies of humanity. We protect the faithful from the unholy and unhallowed. Sometimes with words, more often than not with a bolter.
Okay, so this was clearly an unbiased opinion.
I-
And also, more often than not with a bolter. Sus.
Very sus.
Flamers, damn it. Are all sisters as faultless as you say?
Even the novices of the Adeptus Sororitas are drawn from among the most worthy. Those who have taken the vows and become a full-fledged sister are the best of the best, tested by trials of body and spirit. Yes, there have been cases when a sister stumbled or showed weakness, but do not expect to hear a story of depravity or downfall from me. Each such occurrence is a great tragedy for us all. Light cannot bear the smallest speck of darkness within. And thus those who have trespassed or shown weakness of spirit are given a chance at redemption. They are called Sisters Repentia, and may the enemy tremble before her, for nothing can stop a sister of battle who yearns to be cleansed of fault and weakness.
You were about to say?
Yeah, so 2 things. When is it you receive your Nundum training?
So the latest model the Sisters of Battle received on the tabletop is a mech suit, basically, that the fandom has very pointedly dubbed the Nundum.
See, this is where I wish I was able to, like, share my screen so I could show, like, pictures and stuff. Because I actually have the... Yeah, I actually have the Nundums up here now.
So, the only other thing I have to say is that Sisters never fall, but we do have an entire section of half-naked lunatics with swords that we chuck into battle as, you know, in lieu of repentance. At least the dwarves of fantasy are more honest with their slayers.
Yes.
Go and die for something worthy.
What I love about the way she spoke is, oh yeah, they have like maybe 1 or 2 Repentia.
There's thousands of the bastards.
Yeah, they come in squads of 10 and are led by a sister with a fuck-off Gret whip. Again, I have the picture here. And like, no love, there's not like, you know, a few and it's a tragedy. You have, you know,
We absolutely can
thousands
do that.
of them. You what, sorry?
We absolutely can do that. I figured out how to set it up. Don't worry about it.
Oh, sweet.
Wearing nothing but robes, no armor, eviscerator in hand, those sisters who have once faltered find repentance on the battlefield. Their lives are seldom long, but a death in the name of purgation is a better fate than to live with a shadow in one's soul.
See, again, that's where the Chaos Dwarves are the Chad Dwarves. If you have, you know, failed them, they dress you in the toughest armor, weld the mask to your face, send you to battle, expect you to try and live, and if you acquit yourself, you get fully reinstated.
Yep. Surprisingly forgiving, the Chaos Dwarves.
Surprising is that it's not a lot, but it's more than you'd think.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't expect that from, you know, the evil Hashut worshipping chaos devils, chaos dwarves.
So anyway, what order are you from?
Once I had completed my novitiate, I was sent to the Calixian branch of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, assigned to the Order's Pronatus. The Order's mission is vital and noble. The Sisters Pronatus protect great relics of the Imperium. We guard them, preserve them, escort them when they are brought onto the battlefield or presented for pilgrims to venerate. And we seek out the relics that have been lost. Neither a coven of heretics nor the most wicked death world can deter Sisters Pronatus when their goal is to return a piece of the great legacy of the Imperium into the hands of the faithful.
And that is a very good point, in that the Order Pronatus is not one of the Order's militant. Are you not a trained fighter? Oh, and yet you are a trained fighter.
Don't let the name deceive you. The Order's militant trains sisters to march onto the battlefield as an army. That does not make sisters who belong to the non-militant orders timid and helpless. Both the solace-bringing Sisters Hospitaller and the enlightened Sisters Dialogus know how to greet enemies of humanity. Their dialogue with heretics is usually quite short, with the last word being a bolter discharge. And my order has all the more reason to be known for the martial prowess of its sisters. We are the keepers of the Imperium's relics. What would become of our blessed hero's legacy if the Sisters Pronatus could not protect it?
So, what are you doing here?
Yeah, that's like really... what are you doing here?
You said you belong to the Calixian branch of our order. What brought you to the Coronus Expanse?
The Order sent me to Footfall. My undertaking was to assist the local priesthood of Drusians in caring for a sacred reliquary that had been there since the time of Parson Mr. Wayne, the station's founder.
I suppose the innocent take on this is that we are... The previous RogueTrader was helping an Inquisitor
Right, yes.
around. So maybe they were also helping, or contracted to more appropriately,
Yeah.
to recover
Assist with the
relics as well.
sisters,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are there any other members of the Adeptus Sororitas in the Coronus Expanse? I mean, probably?
Yeah.
None that I'm aware of, but the Sisterhood's
Oh.
orders are many, and can operate independently of one another, sending their sisters wherever their presence is needed as deemed by the Ecclesiarchy. Perhaps somewhere in the Lord Inquisitor's retinue, may his path be blessed, my sisters perform their duty as we speak. I wish it were so. Even a single evening spent in joint prayer and training would bring me joy.
Very well, no more questions.
Should any more arise, keeping them to yourself would be imprudent. It is a virtue to take an interest in holiness.
Yes. Now, about personal questions.
About me? I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to tell about me?
How did you end up on Theodora's ship, for one?
I first came here when I found myself in need of passage from Footfall to a remote planet. But I imagine what interests you is not that first journey, but rather what brought me aboard prior to the cultist attack. That story is complicated. It just so happened that I made a mistake. In a moment of laxity, I was ambushed by the accursed followers of the archenemy. I was badly wounded. Lady Theodora came to my aid and brought me aboard her ship, where crew attended to me in my weakened state. It all happened not too long ago. I had barely recovered from my wounds when the cultists struck. Truly, the servants of evil know no rest. There is no place where we can be safe from their machinations.
Sus.
Sus.
What happened to the people who wounded you? Did Theodora's men eliminate them? Anyone I can question?
Sadly, they did not. Lady Theodora was in a hurry and chose not to stay on the planet. Her people took me to a ship while I was unconscious, and when I came to my senses, we were already flying away. How I pray to come face to face with those heretics once more, and it's bound to happen someday.
Is it difficult for you to accept that you've made a mistake?
It happens even to the best of us. My mistakes are my burden to bear. I'll find a way to atone for them.
And where did this happen? It feels like an interrogation at this point, doesn't it?
Right.
On one of the recently discovered planets in the Expanse. No one suspected that it had already been tainted by the filth of heresy. Had I known it beforehand, of course I would have been on my guard.
Well then, that sounds like an excellent day trip, doesn't it?
Yes.
You could go to that planet and deal with said quote-unquote chaos worshippers.
The path to that planet was lost.
Ah.
All the knowledge is gone, along with the previous navigator. It would take immense effort and resources to rediscover the route. The heir to the von Valanci's protectorate must have plenty of other issues to deal with right now. Perhaps later, when the skies above our heads have cleared.
I don't know if I'm just naturally suspicious or I've played too many CRPGs. But I'm giving her the side eye at the moment.
Sus. Super sus.
Yeah. So what was it like traveling on Theodora's ship?
I hadn't been here that long. Just one journey from Footfall, and the other journey, the majority of which I spent in the confines of the medbay. I can't tell you much about the first voyage. I was more focused on prayers and ruminations than on the people around me, or the journey itself. During the last journey, Seneschal Viserion stood out for me. He came by several times to ask about my health. He's an honorable man and a loyal servant of the Imperium. I think he is as meticulous in his inspections of the logistics systems as he is in his inquiries about the health of the occasional sister of battle aboard the ship.
Well, yeah, but that is a lad.
But not all of Theodora's people have earned my trust. You know who I'm talking about. There is no place for Adira Tlas among the God Emperor's faithful. I'm surprised she wasn't in league with the cultists. And I'm equally surprised by how deep heresy and treason run in this place. I'm glad we all made it through that dark hour. May the day that follows be bright. As you wish.
So, my current working theory is that she recovered an artifact that was very chaosy.
Yep.
Theodora did in fact help her.
Yep.
But she also took a particular interest in said artifact. That's what the shards we found are.
Yep.
And started doing things with it. And our dear sister over here decided that, you know, she'd gone too far.
Yep.
And purged the taint of heresy.
Yes, because you suggested yesterday that because Theodora was shot with an auto pistol, and when we got the Sister of Battle, she had an auto pistol.
Very suspicious.
Very suspicious. She came to us late in our journey. She was the last one to join the party. So she would have had plenty of time to go and do the deed and then come back to assuage suspicion.
And most critically, the person that shot Morton Theodora could have walked into that room without arousing any suspicion. So,
and she's very highly trained, martially, to be able to pop both the chief militant and the rogue trader before they knew what was happening.
what is it that's keeping you in my retinue?
The ship was targeted by heretics, which means that my presence here and the assistance I provide to you are my sacred duty. Sooner or later, I will likely have to return to Footfall to protect its reliquary. But for now, I wish to remain a part of the RogueTrader's crew.
Let's keep it close. I enjoy your company, Argenta. I hope that you remain in my crew, and that this ship becomes your home.
Those are very courteous words, RogueTrader.
I do that.
Thank you. Both for your words and your hospitality.
She gives you another, somewhat puzzled look. Good. Good.
Gotta keep them off balance.
Never let them know what your next move is. They can't know what your next move is if you don't know what your next move is. Trust no one, not even yourself. So, we haven't talked to the helmsman, have we?
No, not yet.
The tall man before you appears to be woven from tendons and muscle. Blue veins snake under his wide, almost dove-colored skin, and his scalp and chin are covered in cropped white hair. His neck and shoulders are wrapped in wires that hint at the presence of neural connectors under his uniform. The officer's face seemed to be twisted in a perpetual grimace of annoyance and anger, but he greets you with a respectful nod. "Hello, Captain. Master Helmsman Ravor at your service. It looks cool.
He does look very cool, I have to say.
Remind me, who are you? I'm the Master Helmsman, Lord Captain. I stand at the wheel on this here tub, your vessel, and bar commands at the idiots who tend to its related systems. In layman's terms, I'm the one who stops us from running into an asteroid or disruptive gravitational wave when we're traveling through the void. Do you control the ship in real space? I wish that was my only job. I have to steer it through the warp too, but most of the credit for that goes to the navigator. Warp's nightmare, always tossing up something new. All my years at the helm, they count for nothing in there. My part's small enough. I just monitor our systems, follow the charted route, and I don't kick up a fuss when our new orders come from the navigator's sanctum. Real space. Now that's where I keep my eyes peeled. Gravitational anomalies, void currents, hard radiation. This kind of shit shows up everywhere. Thank the Emperor the augurs of this vessel are holding up. And so far, we've been able to spot if something bad's coming our way. So who are the idiots that you're in charge of? There are too many of us there are too many to list them all. Tech priests from the Engineerium, voidsmen from the Augur decks, the workshop fools on the bridge. I've had every last one of them flogged. They all need a wake-up call. They need to be whipped into shape, or else the ship will be going nowhere. Or even worse, it'll go somewhere we don't want it to go. You're Voidborn, are you not? That I am. Born into a Helmsman clan in the bowels of a Chartist vessel. Started the family trade till I was 15. Then my entire clan was butchered in a mutiny by lower-hold scum. I spared the young uns, of course they did. Kids with implanted connectors make great navigational servitors. But I was having none of it. They weren't going to make a servitor out of me. So I escaped into the crawlways. And then I spent months picking them off, one after the other. He stops abruptly. You got me talking up a storm. Anyway, yes, I'm Voidborn. Finish your story, Ravor. He stays silent for a few seconds. Not much to tell. I gutted everyone I could get to, and then I fled upward in the middle decks. That's where the Augur operators took me under their wing. They have apprentice helmsmen of their own up there, you see. Nobody asked me any questions, so I stayed. Grew up, trained, got smarter, then ended up a junior helmsman. A dozen years later, Dunrock spotted me and lured me away, the cheeky blighter. I can see you know the gregarious sort. His eye twitches, which makes the grimace on his face even uglier. Have I done something to displease the Lord Captain? Did I mishear you, or are you giving the RogueTrader cheek? Answer me, Void Rat. Not quite.
No.
On the contrary, you are the first person on the bridge who's not tripping over themselves to lick my boots.
Yes.
The helmsman's perpetually twisted mouth twitches as if she's trying to smile. It looks sinister rather than friendly. Oh yeah? Well, I'm pleasantly surprised myself that you aren't having me flogged for insubordination. No wonders never cease. He points at the cables around himself. Connecting wires. Once they go to the control panel, I become one with the ship. Except the bloody cogs messed up the wire stimulus injectors and connectors when they implanted them. They twisted the wires the wrong way or burned something in my noggin. Anyway, I can't sleep. It doesn't happen anymore. Been 30 years of non-stop stimulants and splitting headache. So you'll forgive me if I'm not all smiles, Lord Captain. Huh.
Ugh. That's quite severe. So, they actually connect to the ship like a Titan.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
He gets literally plugged into the machine.
Yeah.
The machine.
All praise the Omnisire.
Tell me about the Voidborn. He winces and rubs his temple. Lord Captain, I mean no disrespect, but you do better to find someone with a knack for conversation like Ptolemy than your Voxmaster. I ain't the talking type. I just get the ship where she needs to go. Best let folks stick to what they do best. Alright, what can you tell me about the other officers? That seems a bit more practical.
Yeah.
Good for nothing wasters, that's what they are. Each and every one. Take Janice Danrock, the highborn weasel. He fawns over the officers, but some of the deals he makes could get him burned alive. He dranks other people into his schemes so they can take the fall for him too. One of my junior helmsmen was ferrying goods from Footfall for him. Got caught by the Seneschal and ended up at the Void Hatch. Dandro couldn't care less. Voxmaster, another Tolliman like the last one, Void rest him, is no better. She cut off half the Vox channels the day she took up her post, said the Vox systems were damaged and the Engineerium had no contact with other modules. Am I supposed to steer the ship? Collect the Cogs reports with the power of my mind? First Officer Vazarian. Can't stand him. Like every Navy officer I've ever met, he doesn't know a thing about controlling a vessel in the void, and he puffs himself up all the same and throws his weight around. Me and him have had words a few times before he left me alone. I think the Emperor Lady Theodora trusted me more than the Seneschal when he came to helming a void ship. Then there's that woman. What's her name, class? Lady Theodora brought her along whenever she went. And look what happened to her. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that the witch that delivered her to an early grave, just like the countless souls before. I don't see why anyone would want that walking calamity on their ship, but some would disagree. They say she's friends with young Tolliman, you know. At least she used to be. An exhaustive answer. Tell me, do you like anyone at all? He looks perplexed. What kind of question is that? I like you, the Lady Theodora before you. Where would I be if I was making cracks about the RogueTrader? I don't want to die just yet. I must take my leave. Lord Captain. He acknowledges you with a nod and turns away. I like him.
Yeah, no, he's good. Straight shooting. I like it.
There's something to be said about someone who doesn't take anybody's shit.
Yes, yes.
Now,
but doesn't take anybody's shit, but still gets their job done.
Yes. Like, I appreciate that. I had a professor like that.
Yeah, proficiency counts for so much.
Like, he didn't get along with anyone, but my god was he good at his job.
Yeah.
And as a result, when you had like a valid question to ask him, he was really good at answering. Right, Abelard, what do you have to say?
Lord Captain?
He serves you briskly but meticulously, as though he's inspecting you for shortcomings, then offers a courteous nod. So, before everything else, let us talk about things that may be useful to me as the RogueTrader.
A noble aspiration, Lord Captain. I am ready to acquaint you with all the particulars that interest you.
So, first things first. Outline the situation in the Coronis Expanse. What do I need to know and keep in mind?
This is a topic for an official briefing, not a casual conversation. But I will try to answer succinctly. And if you permit, in my own words. The Coronis Expanse is considerably removed from the heart of the Imperium. This means that local warp routes become useless within months. Established pathways are regularly subject to attacks from all kinds of rabble. And in the only major port, the Imperium's frigates find themselves moored alongside pirate vessels. Until recently, the Coronis Expanse could hardly have been called a region of the Imperium. The situation has changed with the arrival of the Lord Inquisitor, but not by much. This place operates under its own rules, you see. More radical, so to speak. But ones that allow for a non-standard approach where there is a promise of victory. The Coronis Expanse is considered RogueTrader territory for a reason. Only RogueTraders have sufficient military might, audacity, and the rights granted them by the warrant to survive the leap into the unexplored part of the Expanse, and in the event of a successful outcome, to hold on to whatever they manage to capture on the frontier.
See, you know what the problem is with 40k? The Imperium is fucking massive.
Yeah.
And yet, they keep trying to expand. They can't control the territory they have. And they keep growing.
See, it's interesting because they're very much trying to follow the plan laid out by the Emperor. And his plan was flawed as balls.
His plan was flawed, and it's also 10,000 years old now.
Yep. But this is the thing, it's like, the exceptionalism and the entitlement, because they're entitled to all the galaxy, like it's their birthright. So yeah, they have to expand no matter what, and it cripples them.
So, what are the main players I need to be aware of in the Expanse?
In the first instance, you should treat official representatives of the Imperium with respect. The Expanse may be on the fringes, but it still numbers among the territories of the Golden Throne. The arrival of the Lord Inquisitor has turned the Coronis Expanse into a less wild and uncontrolled region, to the regret of some individuals who had grown inured to the local lawlessness. Rogue traders such as yourself are also servants of the Imperium. They have been accorded special rights and powers. They wield immense authority within their territory, and they enjoy absolute respect in other parts of the Expanse. The most powerful of them are Kalagos Winterscale and Incendia Bastal Chorda. Tread carefully when dealing with either of them. If we are to speak of unclaimed territory, which is what Footfall is, among the scum that dwells on that handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector. The first is the Kazbala Commission, organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall, and has links to RogueTrader Winterscale. The second faction is an offshoot of our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of St. Drusus. They are actively building their forces, and hold influence over RogueTrader Chorda. And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are willing to die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars of the Coronis Expanse.
See, called the stake of all time, right? The Mechanicus is the coolest faction in the Imperium.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you can be a Space Marine fanboy, you can, all of this crap, but the Mechanicum, along with the, their militant arms and whatnot, are so freaking cool.
So, Conrad, a previous Master of Whispers, what can you tell me about his betrayal? What do you think he'll do next?
You know, Lord Captain, I am no admirer of fine art. But when we next find ourselves in a civilized port, with time to spare, I will promptly find an artist and commission a portrait of the individual to whom you refer, with a hole between the eyes. Conrad Voigtveer. That he committed his treachery and escaped with his life was an unforgivable oversight.
To be fair, we had other things going through my mind at the time, like a Chaos Spawn's tentacle.
Yes.
We both served Lord Captain Theodora for many years, and we never saw eye to eye. He was brash. He was never afraid of assuming responsibility, and he willingly took on difficult tasks. I am loath to admit it, but the Von Valancius Protectorate continues to reap the fruits of his labors to this day. His service always garnered my respect. But everything else about him made me want to wring the neck of that two-faced snake. If you are taking comfort in the thought that we will hear no more of Conrad, prepare to be disappointed. You thwarted his plans, his meticulously plotted and nurtured treachery. He is sure to attempt to strike at you, and he will use his contacts and knowledge of the Protectorate to do so. The only question, Lord Captain, is whether you will be able to anticipate his next steps.
I'll try my best.
Sorry, before
As you wish, Lord Captain.
All I could think of was Dragon Ball Z Abridged. I was like, you thwarting my plans?
So, I would like to know more about my seneschal.
As you wish, Lord Captain. What would you like to know?
About yourself. Who were you before you became Theodora's seneschal?
I used to be an officer in the Navis Imperialis. No, used to be is not quite right. It was not simply a job. It was my calling, the essence of my life. I was proud to serve Lord Captain Theodora, but in my heart and mind, I'm still an officer of the Imperium. I met Lord Captain Theodora on a mission where the Imperial Navy was providing reinforcement to the RogueTrader's army on one of the frontier worlds. Our acquaintance was not easy. Working with people outside the Navy hierarchy has never been my strong suit. It was to my great surprise then, that after the mission's completion, I received a referral to leave my service in the Navy and join the RogueTrader's personal capsule. It was a difficult choice for me. But I saw in the offer a chance to serve the interests of humanity even more effectively than in the Navis Imperialis. You do not need me to tell you just how remarkable a person Lord Captain Theodora was. I recognized her at once as a true leader and formidable creative force. One who had built a protectorate amidst the dangers and wildness of the Expanse.
Leaving the Imperial Navy is far from easy. Why were you permitted to quit your post?
You could say there was no one among the naval command who was willing to impede the wishes of the RogueTrader. To do so would be to risk their own position and their relationship with Theodora. Well, the Lord Captain possessed certain contacts in the Imperial Navy. Contacts which she used to request help during the conflict on the border world. And which enabled her to make me an offer that resulted in my joining her retinue. The Navis Imperialis is an ancient institution with its own mandates and muster lists. On occasion, in the heat of an official briefing, or an informal discussion, I violated those rules, determined to press my point. It is challenging to choose the words to accurately express my opinion on a situation or the actions of others that do not sound overly scathing or confrontational. Many in command were inclined to view my manner of speaking as unbefitting a person of my rank.
So, something to instantly point out there is that we succeeded on a coercion test passively.
Yes.
So, yeah, we want good social skills.
Yeah. If it reveals more about people we're talking to passively, that's quite interesting, actually.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because usually in these games you have to click on the coercion.
Yeah. So, but if you can do it here, I suppose actually that might be a cool thing to take forward into like DMing and, in the GURPS campaign is...
Yeah, how passively convincing you are.
Yeah, how passively convincing, intimidating and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I like it. So, the way you talk about Theodora, I'm beginning to think you were in love with her.
What? Lord Captain, any allegations of improper feelings or unsanctioned relations are utterly baseless and bordering on the insulting. Utterly baseless.
Right. Merely a joke, Abelard. Do you have any family?
I am a widower. I am a father of 4. And if my information is not outdated, a grandfather of 11. My family lives on Dargonis.
Oh.
None of my children express any eagerness or aptitude for serving aboard ship. And I would hardly have insisted that they follow in my footsteps.
Well, that's nice. Wish your family the best. No more questions.
Of course.
Do we?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, we'll take him in as like an inner confidant.
He's gonna say no, you know this, right?
Oh, no, absolutely. But we've made the offer.
Yeah, you may call me by my first name.
I thank you for the honor, but I must decline.
There we go.
As a former military officer, I believe in the importance of order in all things, including the chain of command. You are the Lord Captain, my direct superior. I am not prepared to address you in any way other than as regulation dictates.
Correct answer, Abelard. You have passed the test. I must make my leave.
Lord Captain.
Who's Jocasta Sourback? So, disciplinarian? Is the very picture of discipline. Her uniform is exquisitely pressed, her armor is polished, and her posture is imposing and rigid. The only flaw in her immaculate appearance is the heavy enforcer's maul, which is worn and battered from frequent use. She salutes you with a practiced motion. Greetings, Lord Captain. How did you come to serve on my flagship? I come from the noble Sauerback family of the capital ward of Dargonus. I dare say that our house is renowned for its loyalty and strict adherence to the law, and the members of my family would have been faithful enforcers for centuries. I am honored to be the 6th Master-at-Arms named Sauerback to serve on this ship. Jocasta speaks with the words with unmistakable pride. And why are you here instead of basking in luxury in Dargonus? Because of my cousin Macarius. A furious crease appears between her brows. I cannot stand him, but the feeling is mutual. We can hardly be in the same room together, so I jumped at the opportunity to become your enforcer. I should thank my obnoxious cousin for nudging me towards the best decision of my life. I serve you with all my heart and wish for no other fate than this one. And what's with the Imperial Navy armor? I inherited it from the previous Master-at-Arms. Like the esteemed seneschal, he left the Navy to serve Lady Theodora. He brought quite a few officers with him and established a tradition. Upon the death or resignation of an enforcer, his or her armor would be passed on to a fellow officer who had distinguished themselves in the course of their duties. I was awarded armor in this way in my time, and upon the death of my predecessor, I inherited his personal armor.
It's cool.
You know, I'll give this at least to the Imperium, to be fair. They build things to last.
Yeah, they have like traditions and quality goods that go together quite well. So there's always something to pass on and, go down through the generations.
Here's the thing, right? We joke about how the Imperium is literally falling apart. But we can't build a phone that lasts for 5 years, and these fuckers have built shit that has lasted 10,000.
To be fair, our stuff today is built deliberately not to last.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, no, it is incredible that after all of these years, like, they've still got the archaeotech and even some of the basic stuff.
Like this armor.
This armor.
6 generations? Can't get a pair of pants that last more than 2 years.
Right. The Sisters Bolter as well. Although, apparently, as we found out yesterday, it's pretty shit.
So, what is your opinion of me as Lord Captain? I would not dare form opinions about your lordship. That would be unforgivably brazen of me. My duty is to serve, not evaluate. Very imperial of you. I want to know what you think about the other officers, though. I do not trust them, but I do not trust anyone. Mistress Tolliman has too much power, and will surely be tempted to start deciding for herself what information to share with the crew on your behalf and what to withhold. Bravor is closely intertwined with the ship's systems, which opens up plenty of opportunities for sabotage. He must be watched. As for Danrock, forgive me, but a man of his size and habit cannot help but steal. Okay.
Wow. Tell it like it is, sister.
And what can you tell me about Abelard? The Seneschal is a model of competence and fidelity, and all the officers and enforcers look up to him with gratitude. A grimace of fierce devotion takes hold of Sauerback's face, before she abruptly grits her teeth and continues. It is all the most distressing to see that the years have not been kind to the deeply respected Master Viserion. Soon there will be no rejuvenant treatment that can save him from the mistakes inherent in such an advanced age. But we are ever watchful, and will be there to steady the trembling hand of the honored veteran if need be. I mean, a grandfather of 11, yeah, is getting on in years. I want to know more about your service. I am ready to answer any questions, Lord Captain. What are the Master-at-Arms' duties? I am responsible for upholding safety and order aboard the ship. Guard duties, patrols, finding and punishing troublemakers. In addition, my enforcers ensure that the crew follow all directives and carry out their tasks properly. As they say in my family, a servant who shows a disobedience today prepares a riot tomorrow. There are thousands of people aboard this vessel. How do you maintain order? Poorly, we have since found out. 2 words, Lord Captain. Suppression and fear. 3 words. Suppression, fear, and ice red uniforms. Sorry. The base nature of the rubble cries for an iron grip, lest they give in to their animal urges. We have many well-tested measures to prevent it: random night searches, preventative interrogations, corporal punishment, and executions. Of course, the laws of the ship apply equally to the officers. We eradicate the canker of insubordination wherever we find it, without mercy. I hope you will not repeat the mistakes of the previous Master-at-Arms. You can be sure of that. He was a fine enforcer, but suffered from the fatal flaw of trusting his associates. I myself lack that weakness, and trust no one except you, Lord Captain. Yeah, right. Let's change the subject.
Yeah, that's enough of that.
She's a bit aggro.
Just a bit.
Now, before talking to Danrog, let's go talk to Idira.
Okie dokie.
My voice can take a break then.
Yeah.
Oh, goddammit. The tall middle-aged woman stares straight ahead, her eyes vacant as she rubs the implant at her temple. Her collar is undone, and one of the clasps is on the verge of falling off. Sensing your presence, Idira turns her head towards you and offers you a crooked smile, even as her eyes look right through you. Idira, about your abilities.
What are you talking about, Lord Captain?
I am concerned about the level of control of your abilities on account of you summoned the demon earlier.
It's a
Lord
fair
Captain,
worry.
There's nothing to worry about. I've been on this ship just short of 10 years. Would Lady von Valancius have kept me on if she wasn't sure about me? I mean, yeah, sometimes stuff happens. Small stuff. Like when I hear things. Sometimes what I hear is so clear it becomes real to me. But even ordinary folks have bad days, don't they?
Well, Lady von Valancius got murdered by someone she trusted. So, you know, I don't trust her judgment 100%. But anyway, where do you come from?
Lyra, an outlying world in the Heathen Stars region. In the Coronis Expanse, the deeper you go, the less visible the Astronomicon gets, and the less people know about the Imperium. The arrival of a rogue trader is the best thing that can happen to a world like that. The very best.
So tell me about Lyra.
It's an out-of-the-way planetoid between two faint stars. On Lyra, a dozen local tyrants fight over 5 measly continents. But they use everything they can to win, from poison to psychers. I haven't been there in many years, but there's nothing for me to miss. Trust me. But here on the ship is a different story altogether. I saw more wonders in my first year serving Lady von Valancius than I'd seen in my whole life on Lyra. Like my first journey through the warp, I was in bed for 3 days. I felt like supernovas were exploding in my head. I only found out later that I'd gotten off easy. Just through the bulkhead in the bay next to mine, a whole team turned into... Look at me rambling on, Lord Captain. Pay no attention.
You never finished your story.
It wasn't like it was a very fun trip, Lord Captain. But look, if you want to be entertained, I'm the woman for the job. I'll entertain you with one of the stories from my collection, no problem. But if you want to hear about the time I melted everyone in the bay next door, well, I just don't really want to go into the details on that one, alright?
What did you do before you came onto the ship?
Oh, I embroidered wall hangings in honor of our national heroes. I did the same thing I do here, Lord Captain. Divining. Our rulers prized the ability to see into the future. Every psyker that could be found was worth a small fortune on Lyra. There's no such thing as a peaceful life on Lyra. People like me were especially sought after. They'd pick psychers up wherever they found them, buy kids off their parents, even just abduct them. Take me for instance. I got taken from my street gang. The older kids sold me when they noticed there was something
off about me. The ruling dynasties had schools where they trained us and beat us black and blue. And then they packed us off to serve. Some of us held on for a long time, but others didn't last. Not everyone's as smart and talented as me, you know. Some people crossed the line and were out of commission before their time.
Idira looks at you expectantly. Then, as though clarifying, she uses her hands to indicate a head exploding and laughs. So, you know, brain burst.
Yeah.
How did you end up in the RogueTrader service?
Theodora von Valancius paid a visit to the ruler I was serving at the time. I don't know what the visit was for, and it's no business of mine anyway. I can still remember the way the voices in my head changed when I looked at her. They were practically screaming. She had so much behind her, and plenty ahead of her too. And as I gawped at her, all of a sudden I heard a whisper. A hint, a suggestion, nothing more. But I know the difference between idle chatter and a real threat. I seized my chance and approached Theodora. I managed to whisper a couple of words in her ear before the wardens dragged me away. They beat me and locked me up. No wonder. It wasn't my place to converse with outsiders. And then Theodora's people came for me. They broke down the wall, butchered the guards, also I could tell them my warning in full. So I said the rest, but I didn't want to go back to my old life. And so I entered the service of the von Valancius dynasty.
Have you ever been off the ship? I would imagine.
A few times. Not many. And if I think about it, why would I want to? I've got everything I need here. All the whispers I hear are familiar ones. They almost feel like family. And if I want to hear about the nightmares off the ship, I can. After some Amisec. But don't go getting the wrong idea. If I have to, I'll follow you to the edge of the galaxy.
Well, encouraging. Now let's talk about something else.
Of course, Lord Captain.
What is it like being a psyker?
Lord Captain, forgive me. But it would be like talking to a person born blind about colors. I could spend hours explaining, but it wouldn't make any sense to you.
See, I wonder where that question changes if you are a psyker.
Yeah. Like if you're a sanctioned psyker, well, if you're any psyker, yeah, I imagine you get different options here.
Every psyker feels their connection with the warp in their own way. One person might see spots and shadows out of the corner of their eye. Another feels fingers running down their spine. As for me, I've got a door in my head. One that's open just a crack. There's no way to close it, no matter how hard I try. I've just had to get used to the whispers from the other side. When I need to use it for work, I listen in more closely. But I usually just try not to notice it.
So how do you live with this whispering in your head?
Training, habit, and a little Amasec and a couple other things you can get on the lower decks. If you put all those together, it makes things bearable. Sometimes I even wonder if I'm imagining half the voices I hear. You know, when life on board gets a little boring. Better than listening to the living, anyhow.
And what would happen if your door burst open?
Well, if the door opens, that means somebody's planning to come in, right? But screw them. They're not coming through. Trust me. I know how to keep my valuable head locked up tight.
Again, I'm going to refer to the previous demon incident.
Yes.
Aren't you afraid of losing control?
Only losers who are afraid of their own gift lose control. Or idiots who never figure out what they are before it's too late. Or little kids who want to play around with their shiny new toy. If you don't know the limits of your abilities, or you're always bouncing around in your own head, that's a recipe for disaster.
Can you see my future?
Alright, that's what I'm here for after all. So, I'm just going to Lean on that door in my head a little more, prick up my ears, and listen to what the warp's got to say about you. If you'll allow it, I can listen right now.
Sure.
All right, let's hear what they're whispering about you.
Idira laughs, rubs her hands together, and suddenly freezes with a vacant smile on her face, her head slightly tilted. You feel goosebumps appear on your skin, and your collar begins to waver ever so slightly, as if moved by a breeze from a half-open door.
Seek not on firm ground, but in a golden hall suspended in the void. There waits a child without kin, but with a name blind to truth. She draws the brush across the canvas and does not notice that her palette is full not of paint, but of blood. And with each smear, this well does not deplete, but fills and fills up to the brim. One thing is clear. When this vessel overflows, none will remain unstained.
What? I suspect we've been told something really important here,
Yes.
and for the life of me I can't figure out what.
Yeah, nope.
The golden hole suspended in the void.
See, I'm
Space
guessing that
station?
means... You what, sorry?
Space station?
Space station, or the ship itself.
The ship
Basically,
itself.
what we're looking for is not going to be on a planet, but in space somewhere.
A child without kin, but with a name blind to truth. Okay, what about that entity in our head?
Yeah.
If it's a newborn, effectively.
Yeah.
And
'Cause-
it doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, a child without kin, so it's not got anyone else like it, but with a name blind to truth, so it's misnamed and not what it actually is.
Okay. The palette full of not paint but blood, that seems to be just a, it's a malicious entity?
Perhaps not malicious, because it doesn't know that the palette is not full of paint but blood, so...
It doesn't say that. Oh, it does not notice.
Yeah. So if I interpreted that, I would say they cause a lot of death and whatnot, but they're not entirely aware that that's what they're doing.
And as it grows, if it fully grows, it's very dangerous.
Yeah, I imagine it's basically going to get to the point where, spoilers, I suppose, for the Dresden Files, but it's going to grow to a point where it pops out of our head like that spirit of knowledge.
We're not going the Star Child route, are we?
Maybe?
That Emperor Heresy? I don't know.
Yeah.
Among the blind men and false prophets, a red-robed sage seeks the answer to a question. He does not know that it is not the answer he must seek, but the question that will draw everything into focus. Will you help him, RogueTrader? But mark that sometimes ignorance is sweeter than oblivion.
Some kind of Mechanicus fella?
Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of with a red robe.
A chained hound chases after glimmers of the aurora, but sparks in the scent of oil confound his nose. A chain trails after him. What will happen if you pick it up? Will you become his master, or merely another beast in the path of his true lord?
Okay.
That's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. I think I know exactly who that refers to.
Space Wolf?
Yeah.
The glow of dawn bursts forth from its prison. Dungeon walls cannot contain the dark essence wallowing in the dust. A naive cub pushes his nose into a familiar hand, one that holds death in twisted glass. cherish it or cast it off as a burden. The sword of change has already been raised. What is one more life to it?
Not sure about that one.
No.
I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The voices are going wild. I can't make out a thing. I'll try to rein them in, somehow. But for now...
Okay. Before going back to the augury,
Yep.
did you know Theodora von Valancius well?
None of the officers knew the Lord Captain well. Not even Abelard, and she was always closer to him than anyone else. She told me from the off if I ever listened to anything in the warp about her without her permission, I'd be going out through the airlock. I'm not an idiot, so I never stuck my nose where it didn't belong. Only when I was asked. It's hard to wrap my head around the fact that she's gone. Lady von Valancius gave me everything I have. She opened the stars to me and the paths between them. I still think I can hear her voice.
Now that ain't good. Things are
Yeah.
strained. Okay.
No, I was just going to say that's a little bit concerning, still hearing a thing. But our rogue trader seems like they had a lot of secrets.
Very. Things are strained between you and Argenta. Isn't that right?
The little sister is afflicted with her own set of voices. Ones that whisper to her about corruption and heresy. The silly girl doesn't realize that if she wants to find the source, she needs to start by looking in her own head.
So, let's hear your augury. What awaits me in the future?
Alright, let's hear what they're with.
So,
I'm sorry, Lord Captain.
Yeah,
but
nothing
the voices
new.
are going wild.
Yeah.
I can't make out a thing.
got a new story?
And I do, Lord Captain.
She becomes much more animated and her expression turns slightly dreamy as she recalls one of her stories. Right here.
Okay, so we went to Footfall once. Well, I mean, Lord Captain Theodora went to Footfall a lot. But on that occasion, she took me with her for some reason. My day had gotten off to a bad start. My head had been yammering since I woke up, but there was nothing else for it. I had to go. We arrive at the place, and what a place! All the gentlemen and ladies dressed to kill, showing off their encrusted implants, all clustered around little tables. Well, turned out it was a gaming den. And not just any gaming den, but one run by somebody with deep pockets for people with just as much cash to splash. You should have seen it. People gambling away planets in a game of regicide. Anyway, so the Lord Captain wanted me to help her beat some guy. So I tell her, the chips won't land in your favor. You'll get a bad hand. Don't sit down at that table, your ladyship. But did she listen? Of course she didn't. If there's one thing she never lacked, it's stubbornness. So they sat down and the cards were dealt. I'm hovering around like I'm not involved, but I'm keeping my eye on things. And everything in my head keeps getting louder and louder. Anyway, it's a good thing I realized in time that my mind wasn't going haywire over a losing hand, but something else. I made some excuse to drag the Lord Captain up from the table and took her away from that place. And a few minutes later, the room where we'd been... It turned out some wise guy had the same bright idea to bring a pet psyker along with him. One of those ones who just scuttle around in Footfall's underbelly. And the psyker just freaked out, I guess. After all the commotion, people went to see what happened in the room. And they'd all gone for each other's throats. Literally. With teeth. And I think they completely detached that asteroid from Footfall and pushed it off into open space so it would head off toward the local star.
Oh,
Of course.
I must
Always
take
at your
my
service.
leave.
so I was going to say, does she have an accent?
Yes.
And what accent is it? Because it keeps tickling my brain.
I don't know, vaguely Jamaican?
I thought so. Okay, yeah.
Vaguely, though. Maybe
Yeah, like-
Cajun?
Yeah, there's just a little undercurrent, and I'm like, what is it? Right.
So, the High Factotum Janis Danrock. The corpulent man in lavish clothes bows before you, not without difficulty. A servo skull whirs over his shoulder, while the fingers of his augmented hand drum against the sheaf of papers he is holding, and he regards you with attentive interest through the lens of his magnifying implant. Greetings, your lordship. Janris Danrock, at your service. Remind me what it is you do on my ship. As the High Factotum, my duties encompass anything that might enrich you and your protectorate. I'm listening. I see to it that the suppliers deliver all shipments in time, that our partners do not whistle out of their promises, and that all servants remember that the Emperor's grace can only be earned through toil for the good of the von Valancius dynasty. I also make arrangements to ensure that our hold receives less than thorough inspections by port customs officers, and I find buyers for whatever you wish to sell. And of course, I ensure that the Protectorate's worlds prepare their tithe in a timely fashion. And let none ever say in my lifetime that the dynasty has disgraced itself with a late payment of the sacred tribute. He's a tax collector, man.
Yeah.
How did you come to serve the von Valancius dynasty? I come from Dargonus, your lordship. I have been a subject of your dynasty since birth, and have always strived to be of use to the great RogueTrader. Alas, it was not my fate to be the primary heir of my own family, due to being 15th in line for the title. So I decided not to stand in the way of those behind me, in case they attempted to shorten the waiting list at my expense. Chanris lets out an almost kindly chuckle. While my brothers and sisters schemed against one another, I studied the exact sciences and mastered bookkeeping, the greatest art of the Adeptus Administratum. I must admit that the accumulation of wealth, something one can control, is far more exciting than hunting, carousing, and the other traditional amusements of my noble peers. Well, he's not wrong. What was it like working with Theodora? Oh, now that's a tricky question, your lordship. Do you ask it of everyone, knowing there is clues in their head should they let slip a careless remark about your predecessor? I shall put it thus. Working with Lady Theodora was never boring and always profitable. The Imperium has billions of subjects, but very few do what they love and what they are best suited to. I would say Lady Theodora was one of the fortunate ones. She was a model rogue trader. She surrounded herself with those who excelled at and loved their work. Hers was a rare talent indeed. And I wish to know what you think of your fellow crew members. Keeping tabs on your subordinates? A wise move. Tell me what interests you, and I'll endeavor to be as honest as possible. Janris's eyes light up. He is obviously eager to speak his mind. Alright. So tell me about what you think of Seneschal Abelard Vassarian. Lady Theodora managed to do what even the Imperial Navy could not. Teach Master Vassarian to carry out orders that he fundamentally disagrees with. I do not know what method she used, but the result is impressive. Having said that, there is something else you need to know. Lord Captain, your Seneschal is capable of being something far greater than a mere conduit for your will. He possessed the cunning and experience to run the Protectorate passably whenever Lady Theodora was away, and that really is saying something. Keep an eye on the old officer, I say, or alternatively, turn him into a faithful ally. And I'd like to hear your opinion on Conrad Votver, the former Master of Whispers. I hope I never see him set foot aboard this vessel again, not even as a servitor. Although he would be able to do at least some good this way. Someone has to clean the latrines after all. The factotum's bloated face grows stern. He gave us quite a fright on that ill-fated day, Lord Captain. And still, to speak candidly, I never enjoyed Master Voigtver's company, but I believed him to be a man who knew how to do his job. Regrettably, I was mistaken. It turns out Conrad lacked the most important quality for a Master of Whispers, unwavering loyalty to the rogue trader. And his failing came to light in the most deplorable manner. And what do you have to say about Voxmaster Vigdis Toleman? Ah, yes, the Voidborn. You know, in my family, we use such creatures as quarry whenever we went hunting. Mutants are the bane of humanity, an unseen tumor that threatens to end us all. But I digress. In the brief time Toleman has spent in post as Voxmaster, I have not noticed any significant flaws in her character, or anything that would make me question her professional qualities. Nevertheless, needless to say, she is very diligent, as is any Voidborn seeking to earn the Master's affection. I believe you can trust her skills and loyalty.
See, I find it very interesting that people don't see the parallel between in 40k, mutants are the worst, they're terrible, and blah blah blah, and yet Imperium can't function without them.
Yes.
And the real world allegory, of people hating immigrants and whatnot, and realizing that, oh no, we can't live without them.
It's a whole ass situation.
Right?
I want to know more about the people who buy our plunder. Plunder, you say? Of course, Lord Captain. What interests you exactly? We most often deal with the followers of St. Drusus, the Explorators, the Casbalica Commission, or, Emperor forgive us, the Fellowship of the Void. What do the followers of St. Drusus acquire from us? The Drusians hope to bring to the Coronus Expanse into the warm embrace of the faith, just as their flock hopes to receive the aid of the Drusian missionaries. Each crate of food, shipment of clothes, or box of medicine marked with your seal is a sign the RogueTrader himself believes in the sect's future success. Reverend Hieronymus is the first among the Drusians and is most often seen in Football's Grand Atrium. A gloomy fellow, but some almost believe him to be a saint. What about the Explorators? Members of the Explorator Cognizance Fleet, which has been roaming the Coronus Expanse for a good while now. Omniscient knows what they are hoping to find, but their acolytes regularly show up on inhabited worlds, seeking bits of sacred knowledge, tracking down mechanical relics, and sniffing out xeno-artifacts, if truth be told. Supposedly they want to save the ignorant rabble from corruption. A tech priest named Opticon22 does business with us on the fleet's behalf. He can be found at the docks of Footfall. I'm interested in the Casbalica mission. Masters of the cold trade, immoral criminals and notorious crooks to the last man. The mission is but one branch of this mafia gang that has taken root on the Calixi sector. They can do business with them, or you can do business with them as long as you take the necessary precautions. They are led by Vladimir Tokara, who recently appointed himself Liege of Footfall. Of course, he is a trusted ally of RogueTrader Winterscale, but he will not refuse you another of the Emperor's appointed. If you wish to talk to Vladimir, look for him in the Liege's palace on Footfall. What is this Fellowship of the Void? Generous emits a laugh like a gurgle. A pompous name, is it not? In truth, they are a gang of pirates who are forever squabbling over loot and territory. However, some of their little flotillas need supplies, or can take awkward cargo off your hands without asking questions. Of course, there is always a risk with these scoundrels will change their mind and attempt to board us instead, but so far our macro cannons have managed to keep them in line. They say Riza Calvaria speaks on the Fellowship's behalf. The Adeptus Amasecus of Footfall is rumored to be her favorite haunt. Why are we giving our spoils to these people in the first place? No, to profit from them, of course. Most of the things you will find during expeditions are complete junk to one such as yourself, but the less fortunate and affluent servants of the Emperor think them treasures, especially when they are bestowed by the great RogueTrader himself. Drusian fanatics and pirate cutthroats, Casbalica dealers and explorators, none will refuse our help in these dark and trying times. And there may come a time where we shall be the ones requiring aid, and it would be beneficial to have allies willing to provide it. So let us change the subject. Certainly, Lord Captain. I wish to bolster my retinue with skilled fighters. Rest assured, there are people of the most outstanding talents among the thousands of your crew. I will contact the overseers at once. Oh, shit. Ah!
Oh,
Right.
so he's where we get our
Yeah, the custom characters.
yeah, interesting.
Cool, cool. My retinue and I are in need of training. I will show you our sparring chambers at once.
Oh, cool. So we get to
Yeah, this is our respec.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay,
All right. Nifty.
fantastic. Is that everyone? So that's the firefighter. Is this the helmsman, Voxmaster, Abelard? That's the map. Jocasta, High Fabricator, Idira, and we're done.
Ooh, let's go to our quarters.
Okay. FT Tome contains the schematics of the flagship of the von Valancius house, in addition to a plethora of notes, copies, and reports and other documents. This majestic portrait painted by a skilled artist greets guests who have been granted permission to enter the captain's quarters. I wouldn't mind changing that one. The coat of arms of House von Valancius is crowned with the text of the Oath of the Rogue Traders, the Emperor's faithful servants. We have the pipe organ.
I wonder if we play.
Have bookshelves packed with ancient books, piles of paper, etc. Oh, hey. Stuff. Blast Wave, Heirloom Auto Pistol, and the Wrath of Saint Drusus.
Ooh.
Okay. I'll
Very
grab
nice.
those. The light glinting off the polished skull of some unknown Xeno makes it seem like the bony face is mocking you. That's an orc. Right?
It is an orc. Yeah, that's definitely an orc.
So here we have a grandfather clock. Too quiet for its bulky size. That's our vault, that's fine.
Yep.
And our von Valancius ancestry records, which is the Kickstarter list.
Ah, nice.
Hey, that's cute.
That's very cute.
What else is there to do here? A regicide board? The positions of the pieces suggest that this game was interrupted. The window was never determined. Yeah, I've never seen many of these articles before. Why not? Pretty normal.
Yeah, like the standard shit.
The fine sculpture made of a strange metal seems to absorb any rays of light that fall upon it. And over here, we have Liturgies of the Faithful to his word and name. The text below the solemn heading looks noticeably faded. It appears that the prayer book has been kept open on this page for a long time. Then there's a weird rock.
She was very into her metallurgy and geology, wasn't she?
The long-dead eyes of the sphere monsters forever capture the fear and pain of its final moments. What is that?
Not sure. Some sort of beast. It's definitely not like a tyrannid or anything.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Oh? Master of Absolutions.
Perform our ablutions.
I don't know what this is. So, the soothing water caresses your senses and your grateful muscles welcome the chance to rest. A pleasant languor spreads through your body as you allow yourself a moment of quiet relaxation. You two, get in here. Let's relax and close my eyes.
Yeah.
The tension slowly retreats as you bring yourself to complete stillness. Joint by joint, muscle by muscle, pore by pore. Before long, you have surrendered the bastion of your body to the bliss of oblivion. Troubles, worries, loss, such things do not belong in this newly established dominion of tranquility. There are only the infinite waters of weightlessness, in which, stripped of all things superficial, the mind of Maximilian von Valancius drifts in silent bliss. It is a conscious mind. What fills this consciousness?
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Thoughts of his monumental duty to the Emperor. Such duty can blah blah blah. Thoughts of those who keep him afloat in these waters, who will drown and who will manage to pull to the surface. Thoughts of the price paid for power, the inconstant path through which such power is obtained, and only a desperate desire to lose it. Let's go with that conquest.
Yeah.
The strands of fate are fragile, yet woven together they are strong. Not everyone is destined to see this voyage through to the end, but no one will be forgotten.
We got +3.
Alright.
Oh.
Let's call in Abelard, see what he has to say.
Yeah.
Abelard clasps his hands in a businesslike manner, and there's an ominous glint in his unaugmented eye. Lord Captain, what a fortunate rarity to find you at leisure. Since you have nothing else to occupy your time, I will give you a lecture on the history of House von Valancius. I would not be doing my duty if I did not start from the beginning.
Clutch your head. Oh no, suddenly I do not feel so well.
Wait, why do I have to listen to a lecture? Enlighten me. As I was saying, we shall begin with the origins of your noble lineage. Logic test succeeded. Ah, that's cool. Abelard provides you with a daunting amount of information, but you still learn quite a lot about your dynastic history, whether you want it or not. His mustache twitches as he purses his lips in evident satisfaction. That is enough for today, your lordship. But
You have a mustache? He does. Yeah.
Small one.
Yeah, small one.
Permit me to leave you while you contemplate what you have learned. Was that the, why are you wasting my time bit?
Yeah, possibly.
I require company and pleasant conversation. Sure, yes.
Yeah.
Orders received, your lordship. We'll commence relaxation immediately. The enforcers are lean and muscular. They sit down awkwardly in the bathtub, clearly fighting their urge to stand at attention. What would you like to talk about, your lordship? We await your orders. What do enforcers do in their free time?
Yeah.
When we're off duty, we train, maintain our equipment, and pray at regulation-approved intervals. If we do not have time to ourselves, we might play some Tantolo. I don't know what that is. And Bran over here carves things out of soap scraps. She knows that her partner. Though for the most part, we barely get enough time for rest, let alone pleasure. I demand a demonstration, Bran. The enforcer looks slightly flustered, but he quickly gets to work. After a while, he presents you with a bust of the Emperor, about half the size of your palm. The Emperor's visage has been recreated with incredible precision and attention to detail. The small carving surpasses the word of many a skilled sculptor. What a curious hobby. But the carving is yours. You should keep it.
Oh, I don't know. Have it placed in my study, like Something you've created will sit in, the rogue trader's study.
Sure, alright.
Yeah.
The enforcer is speechless with amazement. His eyes shine with pride. I'm not worthy of such an honor. Thank you, your lordship. You seem tense. Your orders are to enjoy some of this food and amasec. The enforcers are barely able to conceal their excitement as they shove delicious delicacies into their mouths and wash down with obscenely expensive drink. They have never experienced anything like this before and likely never will again. It is a feast they will not soon forget, a story they will tell to their grandchildren someday. And while you're there, get me a snack. It will be done, Lord Captain. The woman reverently places slices of exotic fruits and rich-smelling cheeses into your mouth, and the man brings a cup of amasec to your lips to wash it all down. They do everything for you except chew and swallow, but you suspect that if you were to give them the order, they would find a way to do that for you as well. Tell me about yourselves. Do you have any other responsibilities besides guarding these chambers? For hundreds of years, our clan has been responsible for ensuring the RogueTrader's safety during times of leisure and relaxation. The enforcer's voice is filled with pride. I guard the bath chamber, just as my grandmother did before me. She trained me herself and instructed me in my duties. The bath chamber can be more dangerous than a battlefield sometimes. You can slip on a wet tile, you can choke and drown. If the water is too hot, you can burn yourself, and if it's too cold, you can freeze. There have been even cases where angry machine spirits have released sparks of their fury into the water. And of course, there have been numerous assassination attempts, and... The woman stops abruptly as the other enforcer loudly clears his throat. I'm afraid to take a bath now, thanks to you. It is reassuring to know that my enforcers are prepared for anything.
Yes.
We live to serve your lordship. We'll keep you safe. Well, you may relax here with me until I am finished bathing. I would consider it a great honor, your lordship. Please do not tell the Master at Arms we joined you in your ablutions. Mistress Sarbach will beat us bloody if she finds out. So let's finish up. Well, keep our guards sweet.
Yeah. Oh, some goods in there.
It's a cracked data slate. Okay. The hell's that? The final transactions with the chartist are complete. The fiery reckoning is now fully The object has been loaded aboard with its containment intact and placed into the forebay to ensure maximum contact with the target. Coordinates sent and received by the bridge. Target estimate time of arrival in the system. The fiery reckoning is crewed by a servitor hive. Chances of the ship returning are minimal.
Interesting.
What is that?
I think that's going to be something we confront somebody with.
Yeah. And then we have an unfinished letter. His chagrin is irrelevant. Voigtver's mistake cost me too much. Years of work, tremendous resources, all wasted. He has failed at what he was supposed to be irreproachable at, uncovering spies, and this one was such a senior officer. I'm not about to discard him. Conrad has served me too long for his removal to go painlessly for the Protectorate. Besides, he is no fool. He could not have seriously expected to become the next in the von Valancius line with his skills and talents as Master of Whispers so valuable. Let his disinheritance serve as a humiliating but instructive lesson from which he may yet learn.
Yeah, so he fucked up, he didn't take the punishment well, and fell to chaos.
And then...
I love how our combat ship has these massive windows. We can change our look freely.
Yeah,
nice.
That's cool. Right. I think that was all.
Looks like.
So all that's left is to check over here.
Yep.
We can go to the quarters, to the Void Shrine, to the Astropathic Chapel. Oh. And we get to bring our party along, apparently.
Yeah. I guess shit could go down. Okay.
I won't tolerate weakness.
So there's relics here. The
Yeah.
Imperium Invictum. The shards of an unknown Angevin Crusade warrior twins' blades returned from pirate captivity by the grace of the Emperor.
Oh, don't forget to give that sword to Abelard, the one we found.
Yes, actually there's a couple of things.
Yeah.
So Abelard, the Wrath of St. Drusus, does not have an area attack, it's single target only.
Ah.
Increases damage from all sources against any targets by 15% at the end of combat. Still good though.
It is.
I mean, I could do that.
That
And
looks way cooler than I thought it would.
and attack with one or the other.
Yeah.
Or like do that or something.
Yeah, that seems more reasonable, actually. So if we're dueling somebody, we go for the dueling chainsword, and if we're fighting groups, yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, our dear sister here. So, is getting a shotgun.
Yeah.
I love it looks like just a shotgun.
It really does look like the guns the Gene Stealer cult uses.
Yeah. So, I want to
And
see
then
this now. Because Unfading Valor does good damage, but it has absurd recoil.
yeah.
So let's give her the autogun. As weird as that looks.
Yeah, it does look rather weird, I have to say.
She does have a pistol. Let's do this. And for
Sure.
ourselves... I don't know. Have a shotgun.
Yep, just in case. What's that pistol with the silencer next to the blade fragment?
This one.
Second row, yeah.
Oh, it's an heirloom auto pistol. Less damage, less armor penetration than ours. Same recoil, lower range. Can be used as if the wielder has the dual weapon skill and gives perception and ballistic skill.
Is that worth giving to Abelard in his other hand?
Sure. Wanna see why
Because
not?
he gets close up.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, are we good?
I think so, yes.
Oh, actually one thing to check, equipment-wise. Yeah, he's running out of medicase.
Yeah.
So what is this?
Excellence matters.
Now, among the antique weapons you spot, the mole known as the Ferrum Fatum. Legend has it that its head split when it cracked open the skull of the loathsome demon Brenazar the Flayer.
Yeah, you know what I've just realised?
What?
We've got all these relics and stuff like that. The Blood Ravens are going to be coming knocking.
Would it be too far for them?
Yeah.
The Rex
Oh, speak-
The Rex
Sorry, go
Regalia, the partially restored blade of Zaphadas the Earnest, a missionary who decimated the abominable Xenos and fell in a deathly battle against the unrighteous.
So, interestingly, just wanted to mention this. I've gone to the 40k RPG Tools website to have a look at all the books from the RogueTrader TTRPG.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes place in the Expanse.
All right.
So there's a book titled The Law of the Expanse,
A new challenge for me?
The Coronis Bestiary, Epoch Coronis, Secrets of the Expanse. So yeah, we're taking place in the same place as the TTRPG.
Yeah, they've done a good job of that.
Yeah.
Like, they have done their damn
We need to
best.
investigate.
Oh.
A power mole rests within the glass. The inscription reads, I am wrath, I am cleansing. Whoever wields me walks into the footsteps of Furia.
It's about time.
And there's a button? Oh,
So that was a perception check.
yeah.
So can we walk on those buttons now?
We shall prevail.
So what happens if we...
Ah, we've got to get all those
I'm at
lights
your service.
on.
If such is the Emperor's will, we are the spearhead of the Imperium.
It did go down. Check the... Oh, no, the light went off.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
So what happens if I walk back on it?
It's not only is it a thing, you've got to do it in the right order.
Yeah.
See, that resets it. So we've got to find the other panels.
I don't think we can
Which-
open it until we get a fifth party member.
Yes, actually.
Because if I walk off it, it turns off.
Yeah. Ah, okay.
Well, there's still
Something
more
to
stuff
keep an eye out for.
to look for.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got well-deserved rest.
Ooh. So yeah, there was some stuff on the left-hand side of the room as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I did fine.
An ancient-looking chainsaw without the fuel engine rests on the weapon rack. The shape of its teeth makes you think of the Ulma Universalis, a pattern from the Angevin Crusade era. And over here we have a skeleton holding a spherical object, gleaming with gold. Oh. So, Initiate Zik. The broad-shouldered young priest makes the sign of the Aquila. The Emperor protects your lordship. How may I be of service? Who are you? Initiate Zik, your lordship. I recite prayers and help Confessor Adalbert with their rites. What is this relic next to you? A mysterious object, but undeniably a holy one. It was donated by a group of pilgrims who studied the legacy of the great missionary Nadine Aleinikov. They believed there was something inside that only someone truly righteous was meant to have. One of the pilgrims was so desperate to witness the moment of the orb's opening that they bequeathed the body to us. Any ideas on how to open it? One of your predecessors was the last to attempt solving this relic's mystery. It happened a long time ago. Before Lady Theodora was born, that's all I know. Why not just disassemble it? To damage a sacred relic is an unthinkable crime, and to use force to bypass the test of wisdom and faith it contains is terrible blasphemy. Well, let me try. The initiate opens the lock and hands you the orb. Someone has already moved the hoops around, trying to arrange the letters into meaningful sentences. It will only take a few more rotations for the orb to split cleanly into 4 parts, each with its own question. The answer should presumably be formed using adjoining hoops. Form the question in the first quarter. My light reaches everywhere. The greedy will see me in gold, the scholars in humanity's cradle, but only the righteous will see me within their souls. The Emperor?
The Emperor. Yeah, it's the light that he gives off. Yeah.
For better or worse, something clicks inside the orb. Form the second quarter. I am within every human, and my loss is feared. For without me comes the end. But give me to the Emperor, and you will be eternal. Faith?
Yeah, Faith.
Third quarter. I am poison, I am perdition, I am disgrace. Burn me down, eradicate me, or perish rejected by the Emperor. Weakness or betrayal?
I was thinking transgression.
Transgression. I don't know about that one. I'm gonna go with weakness.
Okay.
And the last question? In your body, mind, and soul you must possess me. I am no mere absence of stains. I bring you closer to him. Loyalty?
Loyalty.
You will have to start over. Okay. So...
You crack on with that for a second. I'm just going to nip to the loop.
Yep. So let's stick with Emperor. I'm fairly confident it's faith. No, it's life. Yeah, what was I thinking? I'm gonna stick with weakness and loyalty, but no. This is easy enough to brute force, but it might take a moment. The greedy seeming gold swallows in the cradle. Let's go with strength. Oh, crap. Second quarter, life, weakness. Nope. Let's try throne. No. Logic puzzles. Gotta love them. Ugh. Let's stick with Emperor on this one. Eradicate me or perish. That could be duty as well. Well, I'm probably gonna give up here and have a look. So apparently, that's the throne. Blood. That's the one I just... Give blood to the Emperor. I don't know about that one. I was right on the weakness. And purity. Wouldn't have guessed. How strange and exciting it is to behold a holy object that has lain hidden from the eye for so many years. Truly it is a great day upon which the RogueTrader himself has revealed the legacy of the great missionaries to us all. I swear this is some kind of, not scam per se. But like a hazing ritual from the chapel people. The button can end the turn immediately to grant all adjacent allies an extra turn with 1 AP. Why not? Let's stick that on.
Victory awaits.
And does this guy have to say anything? He's leaning over the cogitator with an expression of extreme mental effort, his fish-like round eyes peering into the screen. Grant me understanding, master. Grant me wisdom. Your lordship, how can I be of service? Who are you and what do you do here? I'm Clotus, junior cleric. I sought recordings from the shrine confessional to pass them to higher-ranking clergy. Tell me more about this confessional. Parishioners come here to repent, to share their innermost thoughts and observations of their neighbors. The sacred machine records all confessions and alters the voices beyond recognition. Is there a way to find out who made which confession? There is not. That would undermine the usefulness of it.
Returned.
Hello. So that's kind of interesting. I'm asking him whether it is possible to find out who made what confession at the chapel.
Ooh.
And there's a grayed out option here that requires you to be heretical.
Interesting. Oh, I can hear some crackling on your end.
Bear with.
Yep.
How about now? No.
Say something again.
Oh no, I can see it on my mic, I know. I think my mic is dying.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
Yep, I can hear you.
Any crackling?
Don't think so.
Should be fine by now.
Oh, no, wait, it cracked there.
Don't know what to do about that. Oh well.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye out.
Yep.
So, yes. The machine spirit keeps the name secret. Good thinking, making it anonymous. Keep up the fine work. It appears you are having difficulties. Nothing escapes your lordship's notice. As it so happens, I am struggling to categorize 3 rather peculiar confessions. I wouldn't have dared to tell you about them, but I think they may have been left by senior officers, which would make this matter of the highest order, one that is far beyond my meager understanding. These confessions, you see, are far from being examples of pious conformity. I dread the very thought of dissent or heresy poisoning the minds of some of our most eminent members of the crew, but I cannot change what I heard. He bows his head in reverence. I cannot share this with anyone but the Emperor's anointed. Nor can I allow anyone but your lordship to listen to these messages, protected by the secrecy of confession. What makes you think these confessions are made by senior officers? These parishioners are well spoken, meaning they are used to addressing an audience. Perhaps they issue orders and are vested with power. And, well, after categorizing so many confessions, I have learned to notice the subtle differences between them. Let's hear them out. So, recording 17FL2. Alleged descent in pious doubt. One question has troubled me for years. Why are some destined to perish in the warp while others must go on living and preserve the memory of the dead? Worthier and more luminous souls have been lost, and yet I am still here. The orphans on the ship have already been provided with the bare essentials, but every so often I consider increasing their rations and ordering more sets of clothes for them. That will not replace the families they lost, but it will improve their lives somewhat, especially given that the ship has enough resources to cover the comparatively trivial expense. Male voice.
Male voice. See, at first I was like, that's the sister, but yeah, interesting.
You have heard the bridge officers gossiping that the High Factotum has taken personal charge of the orphans. Oh,
Really?
well, what do you know? Bloody hell. Low-peered kleppers display a high degree of socialization both among their kind and towards their owners. These animals adjust well to any void ship's lower gravity, since it's similar to the homeworld's conditions. Low-peered klepper meat is edible should necessity demand it. The voice sounds muffled, as though from behind a thick layer of glass, but it's unmistakably a woman. That's odd. I'm curious to know who left these confessions. I will seek them out. Suppose these confessions are truly special if your lordship is giving them personal attention. Never would I have imagined the RogueTrader himself coming to my aid.
Okay.
Hey. How strange.
Yeah.
There's just like a thing hanging in the way.
I know, right?
So here we have, oh yeah, the power mall.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get that power mall.
Let's talk to the confessor. As a plump, rosy-cheeked old man, is lighting candles, taking his time with each. Glints of fire dance on his heavy golden aquila, and in the sky-blue eyes he addresses you, smiling. The Emperor protects your lordship. Are you here to pray, or have mundane matters brought you to me? There is an incredibly profound quality to his voice, and he speaks with mesmerizing timbre.
So it's this asshole going around lighting all the candles on the ship.
Solo? I don't think so. It would take him like 6 eternities. Oh, bloody hell, that's a lot of questions.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Remind me what it is you do on my ship. I am the ship's confessor, your lordship. No vessel that abides by the Imperium's laws can sail the void without a spiritual guide. Even a smaller sized vessel does not have a member of the ecclesiarchy on board. Even a smaller sized vessel that does not have a member of the ecclesiarchy on board entrusts all matters of faith to a layperson who is staunch adherent of the creed. A RogueTrader's flagship, naturally, is expected to have a confessor who comes from the line of his reverend servants. I am such one. I am entrusted with caring for the reliquary chapel and the dynastic crypt. I also conduct liturgies, concentrate the ship's base, and strengthen the crew's hearts whenever the dark hour is upon us, lest any among them falter in the face of horrors lurking in the darkness and failing their duty. Open the reliquary with a power maul. I wish to wield it myself. Alas, your lordship, I do not know of a way to open the locks on the particular receptacle without damaging its contents. One of the ship's confessors from days past sealed the reliquary well, so as to bar anyone from taking the weapon. I suppose it was a desperate precautionary measure against thieves and heretics who would seek to lay their hands on the holy relic. I am sure there exists some impenetrable secret method of unlocking the reliquary, and if I only knew what it was, I would tell you right this moment. See, I swear both the mace and the orb, they get basically replaced for every new RogueTrader, and it's like their hazing ritual.
Yes.
Tell me, Adalbert, do you wish the shrine confessional to repent as the other officers do? Do you visit the shrine confessional? Why, I always find time for penance on my morning and evening ships, your lordship. Why are some destined to perish in the warp while others must go on living? An irrelevant question. His face takes an expression of fathomless wisdom and calm. Our fates are in the Emperor's hands, and he does as his plans require. Yeah, see, it wasn't you. For a moment, I thought you had come to confess, but now I see you have taken on the role of cleric yourself. May the Emperor guide you on your quest for answers. Tell me about the crypt. Every RogueTrader takes care to maintain an appropriate place of repose on board their flagship. For their capital may change with the passing of centuries, but the vessel of the Emperor's anointed serves for them for millennia. It is more than just a symbol of the dynasty's authority. It is the source of its power. The Lord Captains sit in the void, whence they reign over their many lands. The Von Valancius crypt is where RogueTraders and their most loyal servants are laid to rest. As the ship's confessor, I perform the rites of burial and remembrance for these honored dead. Adalbert lets out a heavy sigh. It never occurred to this old man that he might have to send Lady Theodora on her final journey, but all is the Emperor's will. I would like to find out more about this place. I could talk about the reliquary chapel for hours. Please don't. Is this the only place of worship on the ship? Why no. There are multiple sancta on every deck. Where your subjects pray fervently and the clergy keeps a close watch on the firmness of their faith. This, on the other hand, he gestures around the glittering reliquary, is the holiest of holy places, where only the noblest among your servants are permitted to set foot.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like it.
I want those on other decks to partake on this exuberance as well. His eyebrows arch upwards. Truly a most generous and gracious gesture, your lordship. I will arrange for commoners who have distinguished themselves in their service to be allowed in here. An event like that will fill them with fervor, and they will pass down the memory of what they have seen to their offspring. Good.
Yes.
Where does this collection of sacred relics even come from? Every relic we have here was either arduously tracked down by your ancestors, captured in battle against the faithless, or received as a gift for glorious deeds. A show of loyalty to the Emperor that speaks for itself, does it not? He makes no effort to conceal his pride. For our part, we keep the precious relics intact and undisturbed as we conduct liturgies and perform rites. Initiate Zeke is especially diligent in his care for the relics. Though he is of common stock, he earned his promotion through dedication and piety. So let's hear about the Imperium's tenants. In a voice brimming with solemnity, Adalbert begins. Every man and woman has the place in the order he created, and this order must be followed by the will of one's superiors obeyed. Beware of witches, for they have been stained by the warp. Persecute mutants, for their perversions of the human form, and hate the accursed Xenos. Just cause. I think we can call him out.
Yeah.
The Imperial Creed prescribes being wary of psychers, but the Imperium needs them. You are right. Without the astropaths, who are deaf and blind, there are many other psychers laboring for the good of humanity. That is their place within the Emperor's design, but only those among them who accept his light and have been authorized. Idira scoffs contemptuously. For once in your life, you could just admit that it doesn't take a tongue callous from prey to handle the warp's dangers. And they tell us to persecute mutants, but an exception was made for navigators. The Navis Nobilite are different from most humans, but the differences are a blessing. They are noble servants of the Imperium who help humanity expand its galactic domain. Do you not see that as a higher purpose that pleases the Emperor? Hypocrisy!
Hypocrisy!
Sorry, I'm still sick.
Yeah. I'm sick of this hypocrisy.
Among the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Emperor is known as the Omniscire. That's debatable, frankly.
Yeah.
Is the Emperor the Omniscire, or have they gone, look, we'll call him the Omniscire, and that will shut him up so we can do our thing?
Yes.
Among the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Emperor is known as the Omniscire. They have their own form of worship. Do they truly share our beliefs? Why, no. Most certainly. Different likenesses of the Emperor and ways of worshiping him can be found across the Imperium's worlds, but we are all believing the one, yes, as Log are intended. Come to think of it, my warrant entitles me to violate the Imperial Creed in many ways. Violate? Those are not to be conceived as violations. A rogue trader's privileges come with a duty. The duty to expound the bounds of human influence. If the rogue trader must take responsibility for unorthodox solutions or actions in the course of performing that duty, then so be it. It seems there are more holes in the Imperium's religions than parasites on a grox. You forget yourself, Maximilian. If Argenta's glare could burn, you would be a handful of ash by now. Not even a rogue trader is allowed to blaspheme against the holy faith. For the sake of your own soul salvation, this conversation is over.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, bloody hell, this actually cut us off. So I suppose we actually have to be careful.
Yeah.
A fragment of the Cathedral of Eternal Redemption.
That's a big fucking statue.
So yes, we'll be a bit more careful with our words against these ones.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I'm all
That's fun. That's fun.
Well, you know, respect, they allowed you to do it.
Yeah.
Your seneschal is always there for you.
Nope.
So do I have to reset every... fuck's sake.
Yep.
I won't tolerate weakness.
So not this one or this one.
Yep. This one?
Yeah.
Marching on.
Nope.
Nope.
No, I
No,
tried that one.
no, yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yep.
Then... Nope.
Nope.
I don't know why I'm even doing this, because we know for a fact that I can't.
That's got to be the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think that is set for now.
Yep. 1, 2.
I dare not provoke the whispers.
Great.
Be the road that we take.
4. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. And if I step off, it all goes off. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, the plus side, that conversation ended, so I don't have to talk more.
Yes.
So we have the quarters, the Astropathic Chapel.
Yeah, let's have a look there. Oh.
Cool vibes over here.
Yeah.
Holy, these are all our astropaths.
Yep. That one's red.
They're staring at me with their bird eyes like I'm a leper. I'm just passing through, all right? So you lots can calm down.
And this one is red.
Yeah.
Grim.
Right.
I rise to the occasion.
So, the machine... Yeah. The machine uses its many quills to commit the astropath's whispers to paper, then sorts the resulting raw mental images based on meaning.
A new challenge for me.
Underneath the grill you can see enormous outlines of formidable engines. Oh. That ain't good.
No.
Oblivion is inevitable. After the boundless sunset comes the horrific sunrise, brought forth into a wailing world from the womb of...
That must be a bad connection.
Blown a fuse.
Follow my lead.
Yeah, they can just burn out.
Except that was a particularly relevant message.
Right. Oh, we have a first-time chatter joining us. Gabrielio, 1997. Hello. Drops is on? Question mark? I don't know what drops is. Sorry. Welcome to the stream. Nice to meet you, bud.
What do I have here? Voices blending in unison.
It's about
Like,
Can you zoom in on them? Have they got like? Oh yeah, it's like a librarian's hood almost. Cool.
it's kind of cool how they have like the whole, like, horror of the Imperium in full
Yes.
display.
excellence matters.
The receiver's enormous reels direct paper tapes containing unprocessed text into the chapel's depths, after blessing the paper with an imprint of sacred cogs.
See, it's quite interesting. In one of the heresy novels, you get to see the astropath's chamber on Earth when the messages of the betrayal from Horus come in,
Okay.
and the entire place, like the reams of paper are clicking away, sort of thing, and then suddenly it starts going brrrr, and like everything starts going crazy, and astropaths start burning out. It's pretty intense.
Cool.
Oh, Gabriello says your character. How is your build? We've gone for an officer noble.
To the stars.
Still very early on,
Yeah.
but
We've only just become the rogue trader and we're exploring the ship.
yeah, what do I have? See, it's still pretty damn early.
Yeah.
But yes, officer, noble, imperial. If it wasn't obvious, we have gone for us high fellowship and commerce, coercion and everything. Probably going into either master tactician or grand strategist.
Yes. We have, because we're not very familiar with the rogue trader system itself, we've been relying on some guides and whatnot.
What does this fella have to say? Protect us from the machine's spirit's unrest, for without his gifts our sacrifices are fruitless. You can barely hear the voice of the young astropath standing very still next to the bulky mechanism, his face frozen in a mask of despair, his anemic hands pressed at his chest, clutching crumpled strips of thick paper. He hears you approach and composes himself. The engine seer, his head lowered, does not so much as glance in your direction. With his hands folded underneath his robe, he makes a barely audible and unpleasant sound, a prayer in the Techna lingua. So binary, really.
Binary cant, which is so cool. Oh, by the way, Gabriello 1997 just gave us a follow.
Oh,
Thank you very much, bud. Yeah, much appreciated.
What is going on here? The sacred compiler is ailing, your lordship. A gloom has come over the machine spirits, and they are disrupting the mechanism's operation. The 12th row of the drum is now adding incorrect symbols. The man shows you a stack of papers, and you notice at once that the rows of squiggles in each line all end with the same glyph. We summon the servants of the Omnisire, but the machine spirits are none too eager to heed their prayers. The esteemed engine seer is in a state of tech prayer trance and hasn't moved from this spot for a day now. He shrinks his head into his shoulders timidly. I had the audacity to think the sacred compiler could be better helped by examining its parts, but who am I to question the sacred knowledge of the Adeptus Mechanicus? Let's see if there's any way I can help. So...
Gabriello says, cool, my build is the same, but I'm sad that they destroyed the commissioners? I don't know what that word is. It is commissioners build.
Might be Commissar.
Oh yeah, it might be commissar.
I did fine.
Oh. Did something.
Oh, did we find a jam?
Scraps of paper are stuck deep inside the mechanism, causing it to rattle terribly. Cleaning the machine's parts and anointing them in sacred unguent restores the machine to its clear, clanging voice.
By the way, sorry, can you make that text box a little bit bigger, or is it stuck at that size?
It's stuck at that size.
Ah, okay.
Sorry.
No, I was just wondering. He says, sorry, I'm using the translator. Oh, okay.
Awaits.
What?
Yeah, what language do you play on?
Yeah, what language do you play on? That magnifying glass on the left there, that had 100% logic chance?
Did I not? Oh yeah, no, I've done that.
Oh, you've done that one, okay.
Oh, we used the machine right set for this.
Huh.
So, did I do the quest?
Yeah, speak to the guy again?
I couldn't, that's why I was curious.
Oh. There might be other things we have to do.
Oh wait, I can speak to this guy? No. Ah.
Oh,
Excellence matters.
success.
Okay. Ask clean of candle walks, they are working so the interpreter move much more easily.
See? All these fucking candles everywhere, getting wax all over the place.
I rise to the occasion.
The sensors of the text correcting calibrator are dead. A prayer to the Omnisire makes the new sensors come to life.
Nice. Oh my god, wait. Brazil mentioned. Wah, 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 wah. I'm Brazilian, I speak Portuguese. Ah, well, a friend of ours who comes on the channel a fair bit is half Brazilian, half French. And funnily enough, is in Portugal right now.
So, yes, very relevant.
Yeah, we have the Brazil mentioned meme,
I won't tolerate
but we need to get that sorted as an alert.
Yes, so we have a fair few people from Brazil joining, which is always cool.
Yeah. Oh. There's another thing there.
I did fine.
Okay. The miniature screens are displaying red arrow messages. You command the machine to run a diagnostic and they disappear. Just basic maintenance they haven't done.
Yeah.
What in the world?
The transcriber's quills are leaving blots on the paper. After a couple of jerks, you are left holding a broken manipulator and quill. It is no longer a disruption.
Follow my lead.
Like, they have a guy whose job it is to play the pipe organ.
Right.
Your lordship! The astropath smiles at you. The shy, awkward smile of someone unused to smiling. The sacred mechanism is working again with no disruptions. With a trembling hand, the psyche hands you a strip of paper with smooth rows of etched characters, this time containing no errors. The engineer rises proudly to his feet and says in low Gothic, a language he clearly has not much practice in. With sacred words and virtuous thoughts turned towards the machine god, I have been able to pacify the machine's wayward spirits. The Omnisire blesses.
I think we need to call him out on his bullshit.
Let's be wry about it.
Alright.
How lucky we are that the venerable tech priest is so pious and wise. The statement is true. I recommend installing 2 instance burning units in this compartment to prevent the spirit's continued anger. This unit, Zachary Weiss, will be provided with a list of minor recommendations, 142 in total, for improvements to this compartment's maintenance. Failure to implement will result in sanctions on the part of the Adeptus Mechanicus priesthood.
Huh.
Wild.
Right. Gabriello says, well, we kind of don't have many Brazilian streamers on RogueTrader, so the few of us who know a bit of English look for you. Oh, cool.
Cool. Funny enough, our Brazilian friend is the only one of our group
Challenge for me?
who has actually played the RogueTrader tabletop game.
Yeah.
So when he's back from holiday, I would have some questions for him.
Yes, very much so.
A deceased navigator's organ, repurposed for the choir master's needs. They have a choir master. Sounds awesome, though.
Zoom in. I want to see that, like, what organ he's talking about. Oh,
Like this one?
oh, organ. I thought it meant like internal organ, like
No,
the
no.
lungs had been put into
Pipe
something.
organ.
Pipe organ. I see.
He looks
Oh, that's cool.
well adjusted.
No astropath is well adjusted. They're the craziest of the crazies.
So how crazy do I make the voice? Your lordship, I have something for you. Too much?
Actually, no, I think that's spot on.
The choir master hands you a sheet of paper with uniform lines of machine type etched to it. Thanks for your assistance in repairing the compiler. We have been able to interpret a most curious message. It contains a call sign that agents of the renegade Voidver used in their especially important reports. Could it be a message from Voidver? He was more likely the intended recipient. When was the signal sent? I cannot say with certainty, your lordship. Following the repair work, I went through the texts and had defied decoding before. The signal had lost its way in the bowels of the mechanism. It could be a week old, or years. What does the message say? Only a few words. Good luck with that. Lillameth, Odonathus 9, 11. The winds have ceased. It is done. Now, Lillameth is Voidver's call sign for special reports, but the rest is a code we are unfamiliar with. That said, we know where to look for the truth. The Odonathus 11 system. I will get to the bottom of that message.
So, funnily enough, with the Astropath's choir, they can pick up messages that are decades old. They can sometimes pick up messages from the future. Because of the way the warp works. So, interesting.
Oh, got a message?
Yes, so, Gabriella says, I really like Warhammer 40k universe. Same, it's pretty good. I play many games, including 40k board games and RPGs. I learned a little English because of Warhammer 40k. Oh, that's really cool, man.
That's awesome.
See, we used to be quite big into the tabletop game.
So, fun
War
fact.
game itself.
We used to live in university. We used to live about 5 minutes away from Warhammer World. So
Yeah, like the headquarters.
We were there like 2-3 times a week gaming.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
We've never done an RPG in the Warhammer universe, but we became big fans of Warhammer Fantasy after playing Total War Warhammer.
And Vermintide.
And, yeah, Vermintide. We still like 40k, but I'd say we're definitely more fantasy fans now.
Yes. So, remind me again, who are you? The wrinkled face and drooping corners of the mouth look focused yet courteous at the same time. My name is Zachary Weiss, your lordship. I am the choir master of the Astropathic Choir. I was posted to this ship soon after my soul-binding ritual on Holy Terra. You might say I have been serving House von Valencius all my life.
So a little bit of note on that lore. The black ships that go around picking up psychers take them back to Earth, or Terra, my apologies, and they either get sacrificed to the Golden Throne, or they go through a ritual that sort of like binds them to the Emperor and gives them great control over their abilities, which is what a sanctioned psyker is. So, yeah, a lot of them will then get put into their role during that process.
Okay. Have you made a confession lately? I beg your lordship's pardon? Why are some destined to perish in the warp, while others must go on living? How odd! He grimaces, as though in pain. Or that you should have listened to my confession, and not that you should choose to approach me afterwards. Why? I felt there was anguish. I wanted to help.
I was really... yeah, go for that one.
My confession made you anxious on my account, resulting in a waste of your time, which I apologize. I am thankful for your consideration. He smiles, a bittersweet smile. Death always keeps close to astropaths, and its punishments for arrogance and weakness are severe. I have seen my fellows die, and at times the memories are exceedingly hard to bear. Sadly, almost every choir has a story like that, and a survivor who has carried their ghosts with them ever since. He lets out a ragged breath. My apologies, but I cannot continue warring at these old wounds. Directing a choir requires a clear and firm state of mind. How did you like serving under Lady Theodora? I served her for 2 decades, and never knew another Lord Captain before your ascension. With her, I had been through... The choirmaster falls silent, as though briefly transported in his mind to another place. A shadow of regret creeps into his face. Many things. Lady Theodora had a good understanding of my significance within the overall mechanism of the ship's services. Fully concealed irritation creeps into the expression of regret on his face, which, however, did not stop her from neglecting my warnings. I'm confused. How old are you? I mean...
Hang on. Yeah, dude looks wizened as fuck.
He could be 20, though. He is an astropath.
Yeah, absolutely. Gabriello says, what's your Total War faction? Imperium, Elves, or the Vampires?
Ooh, okay. So, go on.
For me personally, I'm a Bretonnian main. But I also really like Dwarves and Chaos Dwarves. And Ogres, I'd say. Those are my top picks.
And you will instantly notice that he is wrong, because the best faction is High Elves.
And you will instantly notice that my friend's snobbishness matches that of the High Elves.
But honestly, Empire is absolutely sick, especially after the last update. Like,
yeah,
Elspeth is amazing. Gelt is so fun to play. Dwarves are fantastic. Malachi rocks.
Yeah.
Chaos Dwarves are awesome. I actually really like Chaos, flat out, because it's a very relaxing campaign.
Yeah. Especially in that one where all your vassals just conquered the map for you.
Vampire cans are fun.
Yep.
Because I like, you know, taking 30% casualties and exiting the battle at full health.
I've never really trucked with the Lizard Men.
No.
Tomb Kings are pretty cool.
Tomb Kings are awesome. They're a bit weak, but I love their vibes. Like, Cetra is probably the best character.
Yeah. Orcs are damn fun as well. Like, you can't not like the orcs.
I like the orcs as a faction. I don't care to play them.
Yeah. Empire is weak, but I love her, says Gabriella. You need to play Gelt and a wizard stack.
Oh.
Then the Emperor is certainly not.
Gelt and a wizard stack is just too powerful, if anything.
Oh, yeah.
And a properly leveled up Elspeth is a monster.
There's a YouTuber that we watch called Legend of Total War. You've probably heard of him. And he does a video on a playthrough where he plays as Gelt. It's quite a recent one. Watch that, and you'll have no problem with the Empire ever again.
Right. Back to it.
Yeah.
I'm confused. How old are you? If my calculations are correct, having factored our movement through the warp, I turned 34. I was right. He's fucking 34. He's younger than me.
Yeah, he's younger than us, and he is wizened AF.
34, a month and a half ago. There is a pause. You can't quite decide if the old man in front of you is joking, but there is not the slightest hint of a smile on his face. I don't know what to say to that. So tell me about the choir. Of course, Lord Captain. Is there something specific you would like to know? What is this place? To us astropaths, this place is our cradle and our grave. Lord Captain, you are at the conflux of every secret missive, every order of prime importance, every scheme being plotted behind the scenes. You are at a place where each of your loyal astropaths is ready to lay down their life for crumbs of information, if that is your wish. We receive and send messages. For hours turning into days, we wander the dark depths of the Immaterium, carrying our voice through the warp's eternal night, bringing it to our comrades in some remote refuge, accepting the voices, signals, and missives of others in our abode. Those are most often meant for you, your lordship, and at times they are meant for no one. Point to the drum. What device is this? Ah, it is the sacred compiler, which helps us record, store, and, to an extent, unriddle messages. The astropaths first receive these messages in the form of muddled images, dictating what they see to the machine, which logs their every word. From the reels of the receivers on the ceiling, the machine-recorded words are routed through the lines under the floor into transcribers and then the thesaurus core. This core is the most important part of the mechanism, as it contains a vast catalogue of various symbols and their methods of interpretation.
Oh, Gabriello says, thanks for recommendation. You was good streamer. Oh,
Cheers.
Obrigado, amigo. I hope I said that right.
Was that Spanish?
No, they both say amigo, I think. But obrigado, I'm pretty sure is
Portuguese.
thank you in Portuguese. Because I had a Brazilian chef who I worked with. So
Neat.
anyway.
The compiler matches the images and the message against its data and forwards the results to the central cogitator and myself so that I can begin the ritual of decoding. I know of no other choir that possesses so wise a mechanism, and I praise the God Emperor for its existence. However, while the compiler hastens the extraction of intelligible meaning from perplexing imagery, an astropath must still open their mind to interpretation, which is no less perilous than the rites of receiving and sending an astropathic message. If your machine knows the meaning of the symbols, why can't it decode messages by itself? Regrettably for us all, your lordship, astropathic messages are not ciphered dispatches, but rather psychic imprints containing information. Only an astropath can read the entirety of something created through the medium of the warp. Furthermore, as messages pass through the Immaterium, they might become distorted by malevolent intent. It falls to your servants alone to shield their minds with faith and separate true meaning from the influence of the ruinous powers.
Yeah, the form of communication they use is in no way secure, reliable, anything.
Yep. See, one thing that gets me about 40k is, could X universe beat 40k? And everyone was, a stormtrooper from Star Wars does not stand a chance against the Space Marine. And that is correct.
Yeah.
However, logistics and speed, the Imperium is awful.
Yep.
Take the friggin' Helldivers from, Helldivers. Yeah. Does a single Helldiver stand a chance against the Marine? Forget about it. Absolutely not.
Nope.
Does a Helldiver squad stand a chance against an Imperial Guard regiment? Absolutely not. However, the Helldivers would be down on the planet, have destroyed half the infrastructure and out of there before the Marines have received the astropathic message that they've been attacked.
Yes. Like, one of the things the Imperium really, really suffers from is how slow it moves. It can literally take, like, let's say there's an invasion on a planet. The Planetary Defense Force sometimes has to hold off for years before reinforcements can arrive.
Whereas, compare them to, say, Star Wars, right? Like, a fleet of Star Destroyers can glass a planet and be out of there before the Imperium has even realized there's something to respond to.
Yes.
Even if a macro cannon shell can rip a Star Destroyer in half.
Yeah. And, like, again, being able to disrupt the Imperium is so easy. Like, again, if you had the Warframes from Warframe...
Oh, forget about that.
Yeah, forget about it. Like, all a Tenno has to do is come on the ship, blow up this room, and the ship's done for.
And that can take a minute and a half.
Yeah, literally, in the vent, bullet jump all the way to the astropathic choir, set off a bomb, extract out, and you're done.
Yeah, you break the glass, jump out of the window, enter the arc wing, fuck off.
Yeah, literally, there's no issue there.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, if you wanted to hide certain information from me, you could. Weiss's face twists into a bitter grimace. My duty is to shield you from the monstrous communication that filtered through the warp. The screams of the Emperor's loyal servants, centuries dead by now. The nightmarish, maddening images of the Sea of Souls. The cursed symbols that cause astropaths to convulse in violent fits of frenzy. The messages from abominations in search of weak minds to devour. Concealing all that from you is my duty. So how does one become an astropath? We're all part of the Imperial Tithe once. Psychers delivered to Terra on the black ships, but only a few of the candidates had what it took to study astropathy. Fewer still successfully completed the grueling training to be eligible for soul binding, and almost none survived the initiation. He throws his head back. We were all given the privilege to behold the Emperor's light, a light flawless and searing. A pious smile visits his lips. That changes you. It wounds you irreparably. It takes your eyesight, but in exchange, you commune with greatness. His presence in our souls fortifies them as we stand against malicious powers. After the ritual, an astropath is assigned to that position. At this or that adeptus, an astropathic relay or a ship. More often than not, our first place of service is also our last. And what if something happens to your choir? Where can I find new astropaths? The expression on his wrinkled face grows even more serious. It would be more on point to say when something happens. The Emperor's blessing protects us from the warp's various influences. However, there are horrors dwelling in the void for which even this defense would be no obstacle, especially if one spends as much time in their company as we do. There is only one way to procure astropaths, and that is through the Adeptus Administratum. Luck permitting, an attached astropath from this sector will be posted to the ship. Ones who, for whatever reason, have lost their place of service. Failing that, the request will go to Terra, and we will have to wait a long time. That said, there are other options. Blasphemous, forbidden options. The choir master grimaces. Unsanctioned psychers. Unprotected and broken souls who seldom live past the first few seances. And even those would do. Should the God Emperor put their souls through severe trials. And judging by how rabid the warp has been of late, with the number of dead astropaths, those trials will be upon us sooner than our prayers could reach Terra. I know a couple of places where you can get new astropaths. Adira grins maliciously. That's of course if you don't insist on them being all classy and proper like this fried-eyed bunch. The odd noise inside the chapel. Does it bother you? On the contrary, Lord Captain. It is mental focusing technique used by the flagship's choir. one that I invented myself. This music was written by an astropath. What my charges and I hear in it is not what ordinary people hear. Its true depth and beauty cannot be fathomed without the Emperor's blessing. The music protects our minds from rudimentary thoughts, purifies and sharpens them, but above all else, it serves as a beacon of sorts amidst the tumultuous sea of souls, a thread to lead us home from the deadly maze. I have witnessed the death of one of your astropaths. What happened? The choir master sighs and makes the sign of the Aquila. May the god Emperor rest his soul and protect him from the ruinous power's tenacious claws. That was the 5th one this month. Our younger voices cannot handle the warp storms raging in the expanse and end up losing their minds, he adds barely audibly, if they're lucky. Something is afoot on the other side of the moor, Lord Captain. Oh, that's the Cicatrix Maledictum, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Something infinitely sinister, something disastrous. The scraps of mental images that reach us from the Imperium carry the mark of doom. The images emanating from there are like a beast baring its teeth. Oh shit, I succeeded on warp law.
Oh.
You have heard accounts of disturbances in the warp affecting psychers, especially astropaths, who delve most deeply into the Immaterium. But there have been more and more alarming stories of late. Something is raging in the warp. Yeah, it is the Cicatrix Maledictum.
Yeah.
Something that poses a particular threat to those with psychic powers.
Ooh.
Okay. You must enter your choir. I shall have good food, recaf, and relaxing balms delivered. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
We need to take care
Yeah.
of our choir.
Absolutely.
You must enter your choir. I shall have good food, recaf, and relaxing balms delivered. I appreciate your concern. Perhaps these small indulgences will give them strength and save someone's life. See, again, this is one of those where treat everybody in this room with care.
Yep.
Because the cost of, amenities surely is dwarfed by the cost of losing an astropath.
Yeah, I'd literally have people in here giving them foot massages and fucking, feeding them the tastiest foods and whatnot, just to keep them
Going for one day longer.
Yeah.
We will speak later, choir master. I have business to attend to. Goodbye, your lordship. The choir master follows you with his otherworldly glowing gaze as you leave, then turns back to the cogitator. Again, really cool design.
Yeah, very cool.
Owlcat has always had fantastic artwork.
Yeah, whoever they get to do their artwork is very, very skilled at keeping, because all the Pathfinder
Yes.
art they did matched Pathfinder style, and this is
None
all
shall stand in my way.
matching the Warhammer vibe.
So, all very good. Very good. So, we haven't missed anything, right?
Don't think so.
We fixed all those.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
See, I always like it when Warhammer 40k music goes full on, industrial choir.
Yeah,
Because that is just so cool.
really is.
Oh, wrong place. Sorry. The Mechanicus soundtrack. for
Oh,
instance.
the Mechanicus soundtrack is the tits.
It is so good.
Yeah, I love that.
Let us talk to the High Factotum.
Yes.
Pleasure to see you, Lord Captain. How may I be of assistance? Oh.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of the name Fiery Reckoning? From what I can tell, it is a void ship of some sort. There was mention of it in one of Theodora's documents I found. Janrik thinks for a moment, pursing his lips in concentration. I'm afraid it is not immediately familiar to me, your lordship. Please allow me a moment. He starts rapidly tapping on the screen of his data slate. I say. House von Valancius did indeed sign a contract with the owner of the vessel with the designation Fire Reckoning. There are transactions, records of the ship picking up cargo from Kiava Gama. Oh, this is odd. The data log ends here. Apparently the ship had some interaction with one of the workshops of your industrial world. I beg your pardon, your lordship, but that is the extent of the assistance I can provide you in regard to this particular matter. You can actually do it!
Oh, yes, let's do it.
Yes, I would like to replace the painting of the late Theodora in my chambers. Hang my portrait instead. It will be done, your lordship. Good.
Hang on, I'm making note of the timestamp of this for the montage.
Because, yeah, damn straight. Just because I didn't earn it doesn't mean I don't deserve it.
Okay, that's going in there as well. Okay. Have you made a confession lately? Your lordship, you are truly masterful at springing unexpected questions on a man. However, I must admit I don't quite understand this one. The orphans on the ship have already been provided with the bare essentials, have they not? The factotum fidgets nervously with the rings on his fingers, until he musters the courage to reply. I will not pry into how your lordship found out about my confession. I suppose it raised some questions for you? I'm willing to allocate extra resources to provide for the orphans. Yes.
I marvel at your generosity. Will there be any specific instructions, your lordship? Aha, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
So, bring them joy. Nothing extravagant. Food, clothes, and training. Educate them. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I trust you on this, man. Okay, so, you know who I am, I'm getting vibes from here. For a
Go on.
character. Leto Atreides from Dune. The Duke.
Yes, the Duke. Yeah.
Paul's father. When
yes,
he arrived,
actually, that's a...
yes, when he arrived on Arrakis, he
Yeah.
brought in both propaganda. He treated the people well. He gave them luxuries and joy. Not because he's just that good of a man, although, he was alright.
Yeah.
But it's because that's how what he uses to inspire loyalty.
Yes.
And that is the path we should be aiming for.
Yeah, I dig that. Yeah, we're playing the Duke Atreides.
So we should be, but critically, I'm not just going to give them sugar.
No. No, we actually want to build towards something.
Yes. So educate them so that they may grow up to be of greater use to the ship. Assign teachers, supply books, and commend the best students with gifts. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. The factotum bows his head with deference. A wise decision, your lordship. Who serves with one shot. That is to say, it is good to know that the children will both learn and be rewarded for their diligence. Like human hunting joke. What do you do with that?
I'm glad they haven't shied away from how shitty the Imperium is.
Oh, I'm loving that they are focusing on how shitty the Imperium is.
Yes. Have a word with the woman. Yeah. No, not Adira. Her, yes, the Enforcer.
Huh. The lop-eared clappers. The confession. Oh, no, let's open a bit more casually. Thank you for dispatching such... Oh, no, we were told not to...
Yeah, we were told not to say anything.
We may be a dickish noble, but we ain't a snitch.
Wait, snitches get stitches.
We ain't a narc.
Yeah.
What did your guards told you? I ain't saying nothing. Well, what do I tell your guards? Tell them to go suck a lemon.
RogueTrader, you've been shot. What do I tell the physician? Tell him to go suck a lemon.
Oh, fuck me. I need the moment.
Oh, God.
So, lower your voice conspiratorially. The Lop-Eared Kleppers. The Confession. She cocks an eyebrow. Please repeat your orders, Lord Captain. The Kleppers, Jocasta. I know everything. Anxiety flares in her gaze. I am ready to answer any questions as soon as I understand what you mean, Lord Captain. That is, it was a test and you passed?
Yep.
A stress interrogation is a good tool for exposing ideologically weak elements. She lowers her voice slightly. It is usually conducted under duress. Thank you for choosing to omit that part for me. I love how we were an absolute dick to her and she was like, oh yes, that was good.
Yeah, that was a great example of dickishness.
I don't think it's our companions.
No, I don't think it is. Talk to the master of Vox.
Yes.
Because again, it said it came from like behind the glass thing.
That is correct. The Vox spirits brought anything interesting lately? No new information. Fantastic. So once again, the Lop-Eared Kleppers. The Confession. I assume you heard my confessional message. She replies without a hint of awkwardness. Do you wish to talk about it? No, well, I was expecting some more, aha!
Awkwardness, yeah.
But, alright, so... Very well, the important question is why?
Yeah.
I was fault checking the Vox devices in the ship's reliquary. Message recording works, but deletion does not. You have helped me establish that. Thank you. Why Lop-Eared Kleppers specifically? At the time I had nothing to repent of, so I dictated an excerpt from an old letter to my mother. As you heard, it contained arguments in favor of keeping Lop-Eared Kleppers on the ship. I can still recite it from memory. Bigness! I want a pair of Kleppers aboard this ship. Post haste. I'm going to quote my mother's response. That is impossible. You see, the species went extinct several centuries ago. Bigness's voice grows ever so slightly warmer. I'm very sorry, Lord Captain. There aren't any Kleppers to be had. No, unacceptable. I demand an extinct species aboard this ship.
Oh, damn it. I don't think I'm being unreasonable.
How hard it is to bring a several centuries old extinct species back, damn it. I'll go see Trazin, maybe he has something.
Yeah, Fabius Bile, I'm sure, could,
Yeah,
bring it back.
I felt Trazin's a bit more reliable, interestingly enough.
Yeah,
You know what?
that's fair.
I think they announced, and forgive me if I'm completely butchering that they're basically adding a roguelike mode to this, like the Stolen Lands DLC and
Oh, yeah.
the Treasure of the Midnight Isles. And I
Yeah.
think you go through Trazin's vault.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
But I may be wildly off here. I'll have to double check that. So, your confession perplexed the initiate. Find a way to delete it and we will forget all about it. Well done, Lord Captain. Would you like to discuss anything else? We're good. Abelard?
Okay. Do we need to speak to anybody else about the confessions?
I actually think we're done.
Do we need to hand it in?
See, it has a completed icon.
Okay, must be it then.
So, right, let's have a look. So, my Rite of Blood is done. Looking for trouble. Oh yeah, that's our broad quest line. That's good.
Yep.
Oh, we have some errands. Oh yeah, so this is getting you Navigator, getting you Engineer Prime, and replace crew losses, okay?
Why does that have a Tyranid symbol?
That is a Tyranid symbol, that's a good eye. Or is it a gene stealer cult symbol?
Yeah, that's a gene stealer cult symbol. I'm sure it is.
We also have this room. Lord Inquisitor Xavier. Okay, yeah. So we have to find the Inquisitor. Okay, cool. Are we done on the ship?
I believe we are, you know.
Let me give it a save.
Yes, it absolutely is a gene stealer cult symbol.
Yeah, when we take a break, what I'll do is we can set up a section of your screen to stream.
Yeah.
So I can flick over to your screen and we can put up what you have to show.
Yeah.
All right. Lovely.
Excellent.
So,
To the map.
to the map. Ooh.
Okay.
So we have a whole void ship here. Rykard Manoris is over here.
Yeah.
Yellow Sun. Where are we?
I think we're there on the left.
On the left. Wait,
On
what is that?
I think that's a Hive Fleet symbol.
Yeah, that's what I would have said. Oh, I think we're here.
Yeah.
Ah! I can actually move it. Back to the bridge. Void ship management's over here. Okay, cool.
All right. So where are we going for? Oh.
Okay. On the way to our terrible orders of move forward. No, back a bit. No, try left. Okay, how does this move exactly? I've never driven this before.
Master of the helm, are you drunk at your station?
So, Lord Captain, Astropathic Choir Master Zachary Weiss is asking to speak to you via private channel. Greetings, your lordship. I can report that the choir is listening tirelessly to the Immaterium in the hopes of picking up voices from the dynasty ships or worlds. However, we have heard something horrifying instead. Amid the Immaterium's tumult, something is screaming. The scream is driving the choir mad. Until it stops, we have no hope of contacting any of the other dynasty's worlds. It is coming from the Rykard System's astropathic station. What is the nature of the scream? We do not know, your lordship, but it has brought the Immaterium to a boil. It has always been a violent, roaring ocean that could spell doom to any who would consider stepping into its waters. Now, however, it has become a cradle of madness where expelled images fuse together, twisting and cackling before crashing into the minds of all those who perceive it. A mighty warp storm, the likes of which I cannot recall, rages in the Empyrean, and it fills me with terror. If the scream stops, we'll be able to contact someone. And by the way, does that sound like Shadow in the Warp stuff to you?
Yes, it does.
If the scream stops, will we be able to contact someone? I humbly hope so, your lordship. Perhaps we will manage to send a call for aid to the Von Valancius worlds, or one of the dynasty's allies. We're going to have to pay a visit to that station. Thank you, your lordship. Okay, so let's have a quick look around.
Yes.
Oh, so that's the Navis Nobilite station.
Yep.
The Astropathic Relay.
Yep.
Machine Keeper. The Prism Planetoid. The Unidentified Void Ship and Rykard Majoris. Now, before we begin... Oh, there's things on our radar. That's cool. Oh, no, it's not. It's a bloody...
It's a void ship.
Yeah, it's a void ship from the side.
Yeah, so something's coming
Yeah,
in.
that's the front... No, that's our location.
Oh, that's our location. Right.
Yes, that's the front of the ship. These are the fins at the top and bottom.
Right, okay.
I was thinking that that's the head.
Yeah, and that's the tail behind.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
moving through. Yeah.
So, because I think we're about to start a big chunk of the game.
Yes, I think so.
Should we stop for lunch and then have the entire rest of the day to do this?
I think that's the plan, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. In that
Awesome.
case, let me go back to the bridge.
Yep.
This was a very talky opening,
Yes.
but that's kind of the bulk of the game, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, just to recap what we've done, really, we've spoken to pretty much all of our officers and important people on board at the moment.
And pissed off our priest.
Yeah, pissed off our priest by being a bit, unholy. We fixed an issue with the Astropathic Choir's machines. Found out who had made some troubling confessions. Bless you. We'd made a discovery of some sort of strange ship that we'd done trade with before, but we've now lost all mention of. Found a power mall that we need another person to help us unlock. And yeah, pretty much explored the ship and got to speak to everybody.
So that was really fun.
Yeah. So, we're going to nip off now, get some lunch. And then we will be returning to the stream later today to crack on with this.
2 to 3 hours or so max.
Yeah, because we're getting takeout, so we've got to wait for that to come first. So yeah, thank you for everybody who joined us.
Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah. Oh, save.
I did.
You did. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Gabriello1997, for both the follow and joining us in chat.
Ooh. I also need to get, which again, love that. Oh, how beautiful is this? It even links straight to the Nexus. Mwah.
That is good. We need to get the toolbox.
Yes, we need to get the toy box.
The toy box, that's it, yeah.
But incidentally, I will say, between Kingmaker, Righteous, and our RogueTrader, Owlcat is up there with Larian as
yes,
like top tier CRPG developers in my mind.
Absolutely, yeah. They are contemporaries and peers in this field. So yeah, thank you for everybody who joined us. Thank you for everybody who watches the VOD back. Please feel free to catch up on our VODs at the R&D Experience on YouTube. We also have a Twitter and Blue Sky handle at the same name, where we update you on what it is we're doing and when we'll be streaming. So please feel free to give us a follow.
Excellent. And we'll be back in a couple of hours.
Yeah, right. See you in a bit, guys.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.